sometimes I'll do an exercise with my guys on writing your obituary.
Oh gosh, dang! I can't do that. I'm good.
And then
that was Chris at the end.
Jeez Louise, I almost like crying.
Shit gets deep. And you also realize that the person next to you, like, they got family, and if something happened to them, as much as you think he's up in their hole that deserves.
What's up, everybody? Two Guys, One Shed. We're coming back, episode
89. We're creeping up on 100 real fast.
Yeah, they're coming fast.
Fast.
We got guests coming to you too. We got Nalleli Valverde here today.
Yes.
And she's here to talk women in blue collar, entrepreneurship.
All of it today. Yeah.
We'll see where it goes.
Yeah. I was warned before starting this episode.
She's watched a couple episodes, you know what I mean? So she knows what she's getting into.
I was warned.
You know
I am, and I'm all for it. It makes it interesting, so.
Yeah.
You know, I got stories, so let's go.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's what we want, right there. We love stories. I guess, how did you get into the
blue collar
industry? So first, blue collar, I'm in the safety world. So I got into it. I used to work for a paralegal. I was a paralegal for an attorney who did workman's comp. I did that for about 3 years.
How is that like process, like going through workman's comp? Because I've only had it like once, and I know it's like a process.
It is. And usually they damn
near have to like test everything that they prod you and do they, you know what I mean? When I got mine, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? I think they prod a little too much for me because they're testing everything on me. I'm like, dude, is this to hurt you?
Yeah. Yeah, so you do have to do a lot of medical appointments. And basically it's just the paperwork. That's where I really learned what the employee needed to have if they want to sue, and then what the companies needed to have if they wanted to protect themselves. And
so were you that person that would be like, I think you should, or you're just doing paperwork? That was it?
I did is do paperwork, and because I speak Spanish, I would talk to either business owner or employee. And so in 3 years, I learned a lot on just what you need to have.
Yeah.
And so a friend offered me to go in and help at a safety office, just organize. And then I saw, like, damn, I don't know what the fuck rigging and lifting is, but I know you need this. Yeah. I don't know what trenching is, but I know you need this.
Yeah.
As compliance, you guys need to teach people how not to die.
Yeah.
Then they asked me to come in and, hey, help us out coordinate. I saw some trainers come in, and I was like, damn, if they could do that and earn $400 an hour.
What?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Hold on real quick.
I could do it.
Oh,
and they some sorry-ass presentations.
Reporting news coming in. I think I might be switching careers.
Yeah, especially because I could do it in both languages. So I can host one class, and it can be both languages versus either one or. So
and you cover everything all at once, too, especially.
I use TikTok. I use Instagram as videos, because now that's where content's at.
Yeah.
And most of my competitors still use presentations from when PowerPoint was invented.
That's what I'm saying. That's what me and Calvin talk to a lot of comics, and they only use Instagram, and I'm like, TikTok is the most powerful. For sure. It is seriously the most powerful
social media
tool that you can use. And it's like this, every day you learn something new. Every day, like, I don't even look at the news. I just watch TikTok.
Straight up.
You know what I mean?
For real.
I learned recipes from TikTok. I learned everything from TikTok. You know what I mean?
I go and look at restaurants. Like, if I want to go eat somewhere, I'll go look at their food, their posts.
And I just think it's real cheap, because it's just real people doing it. Not like there's like one internet site that you go and find out, like, you know what I mean? You don't go to MapQuest anymore. You know what I mean?
I don't think they're
the MapQuest.
Yeah,
you gotta print it.
Oh, gosh. You missed a turn, and then you're just lost.
You gotta write everything down.
You're just lost.
Yeah. Follow it as you're going along. Yeah.
Those are monopolies. That's what those were. You know what I mean? If you think about it as a kid, those are monopolies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the monopolies are the ones that bought them.
Yeah, I guess so. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Google Maps.
That's true.
So is there like a industry that you focus on?
Right now, it's oil and gas. That's where I started. But I'm actually stemming into, I have several concrete and asphalt companies, and wanting to get into the construction industry.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And do more. Safety's literally like my training field. That's how I see it.
You love it? Like that's like you love it?
No, it's business.
Oh, okay.
I'm loving business.
Yeah,
I'm going to own some big old fucking businesses.
Hell yeah.
But I'm just learning how and what you need, insurances, how to train employees quick. And no, so the dream's much bigger. This is just step
This
one.
is start, yeah.
And that'll help you as a business owner, right? Knowing all the safety and how to cover your ass.
Exactly. And train people quick, because I think that's one thing that people don't know, that the trades pipeline is getting smaller.
Right.
Not enough people are wanting to go into the trades, and it will become a demand.
It's harder for everything, every kind of trade there is right now. I can tell you that from experience. There's just a smaller and smaller group of people that want to go out every day and bust their ass 12 hours, 14 hours a day, and then go home and then do it all over again.
Well, and it's not just that. I think, like, yes, people don't want to suffer.
Yeah.
Fucking including myself. But it's also, I think, for a long time it was looked down upon. Like, oh, you're just going into the trades versus getting a college degree, having a title.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing that most of the dudes and ladies are making way more money.
Oh, yeah. I've seen
way more fucking money than
some girl welders making hella money. They have their badass trucks and everything with a camper pulling behind them. Like, geez, you know what I mean? And they're just welding, you know what I mean? And that's because they made the choice to do a trade, you know what I mean? And I think welding school is only a year, if that. So even if you pay...
Well, before, you used to be able to learn that in high school.
Yeah. They did have trades class, wood shop.
Shout out Fort Lupton, bringing back the trade schools. We're going to help out as best we can. I got some, hopefully some supplies coming your guys' way.
Nice, that's awesome.
So they're trying to do the construction and welding trade back in the high school. Yeah. But that's like, those trades are just, you can't lose it. Like after you learn it, then you can't lose it, I don't think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not to dog on people who've gotten education.
No.
It's not as looked upon or looked bad upon as it used to be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's just easier to scale if you choose to.
I think now with the trades, people can realize they can earn just as much, if not more, right?
Well, I don't know. Like I even see it too. Like Calvin's never got a degree in what he's doing. I don't know if you remember Angelo. He's never gotten a degree in what he does, but he just learned it and he started from the bottom, and then now he's working his way up, and that's how you learn too. But like I don't know, like
my wife.
The more and more I went to Wyotech trade school for diesel mechanic, and then that kind of helped me get my foot in to where like I do a lot of like different stuff. I do heavy machinery moving and rigging. That's what I do.
Oh, there you go.
So
it's important.
Yeah.
How safe?
Yeah, how?
1 to 10. How safe?
Hey, so
let's get the nitty gritty right here.
Nitty gritty. Okay, so what my job is calculate a risk. That's what my job is. Calculate a risk. So
an 8? Are you saying an 8 then? 7?
It's risky at times, you know what I mean, and but I try to make it as safe as possible, you know what I mean. Luckily, I've never had to make a call to anybody not coming home the next day, you know what I mean. I knock on wood, I never have to make that call, and if anything's gonna be dangerous, I'm gonna be doing it. So. You know, hopefully no one has to make that call to my wife and kids, you know what I mean? But that's my main goal at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It's just, it's a risk, but you have to do it the safest way possible. And that's like, that's like literally everything I do is all based on that. That's the reason why they call us, because they can't do it themselves. So then they have to call us for like the specialty movers, and we're specialized in doing risky moves and stuff like that.
Sounds like you need a safety person.
Oh, we have a safety person, Doug. Shout out, Doug.
Yeah, those are the riskier they are, the better they're paid.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Crane operators are also killing it. Electricians are also killing it, but that's
the reason why the reason why they get paid is because if something breaks, it's on them.
And there's not as many crane operators as I'm sure there was 15 to 20 years ago.
So right? Before anybody can operate a crane. Now you need to go to school, and it's not that easy. Like crane operators, they have to pass a lot of mathematical.
I think it's like a $5,000 test too, and then if you don't pass it, you lose that money still.
So it's getting harder to get.
It's a CCO, CCO
also.
Yeah, but they're also valued at.
That's the reason why, you know what I mean, someone gets paid that much, and also too because it's a lot of responsibility.
Right.
If something happens, if you're over. What's the word? Picking up something heavier than you need to, than what the crane can handle, then and you tip the crane over, then you could do tremendous damages.
And for insurance purposes as well. So a lot of companies won't insure your company if you don't provide certifications.
Right.
For specific machinery.
Insurance, right? Insurance doesn't want to pay for that.
And if it goes to court and somebody actually was operating and they were not certified, that's admitted.
That's on the company. Then the insurance has nothing. They just wipe their hands with it.
Because you know the rules.
Yeah.
So companies are forced to certify.
Yeah.
But it creates an opportunity.
Yeah.
So it is high risk, but, you know. Electricians, because you have to think everything that's high risk, you could really die. With electricity, you can die. Yeah. It's not just, you know, putting up a couple walls.
Yeah.
It's heavier than that. So that's why they're paid better.
What do you do to like because I like know like how it is to be in the blue collar, you know what I mean? Every man thinks they're like not, you know what I mean, this is a dude thing that think they're invincible, especially young men think they're invincible and stuff. Like how do you scare, like you kind of have to scare them because there's no like
there's two types. So I always say this. There's two types of people that are the most dangerous on any field. It's the newest dude because he doesn't know.
Yeah. They
don't know what they're doing, and because they are confident and they want to prove themselves, right? Then you have the dude who's been there for 30 years because he knows.
Get compliant.
Like, I've been doing this for 30 years. What the fuck are you going to tell me?
Yeah.
And you don't do this work. I do this 8 hours a day, Nalleli. What are you going to come and tell me? Until it happens.
That's the problem, though, is when they do the same thing over and over again, then you get compliant.
Yeah. Or it's the human factor as well, is you can have a perfect record and nothing happened to you in 30 years, and that one day you're fucked up for whatever reason, emotional.
Yeah.
I had a guy who his daughter was killed. I'm not going to have him operating.
Yeah.
As much as he probably needs to be busy.
Yeah.
You're going to be doing something at the shop.
That you can't be hurting yourself or hurting someone else.
Or someone else.
Yeah.
And so that's when, I mean, yes, I get those macho, but you know what? Being a woman helps because then it's not a standoff between macho and macho. Right. I can kind of like cool things down and I can see like, okay, he's getting all crunk and buff and then I'll start cooling things down, joking with them. And, ándale, don Carmen. Ándale, don, Guillermo. Like, come on, Toby, what the fuck? Like, I'm just trying to come here.
Yeah.
Let's go do this. Come with me, let's talk. And they tend to,
is there a situation that's happened like that where it's been like a tough situation where you've had to calm somebody down? Or?
Yeah, several.
Yeah?
Several.
Like what?
So the one that I'm thinking of now, it's the company people, like it was groups of them were mad at management. And there was no communication. And so at one of my safety meetings, some comments were made that I wasn't aware they were indirects. So there's some internal language happening.
Okay.
And I just start seeing body languages. I start seeing guys starting to stand up. They're moving their chairs around. And I'm like, okay.
Every time you say something, they're like, oh, yeah.
So we're not doing this. And the good thing is, I don't know, that shit doesn't scare me. So when conflict doesn't scare me. So
also, too, like if you could read that. But that's the thing, like, people, like, in management don't read that. They just think that, like, they don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying, like, all people in management, but, like, if you could read that as a safety person, then you should be able to read that as your employees are being uncomfortable talking about what's going on.
You would be surprised, though, how many people in management can't.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the easiest thing.
And, no, but it's not. It's not, because we promote on skill. Not because they're good leaders.
Yeah.
And there's a difference.
Yeah.
A good leader, they may not know the skill, but they know how to talk to people.
Yeah.
And they have that emotional intelligence. They can read body language.
Yeah.
Not everybody can. And I've had to have like very serious talks with some people. Like, I don't know what you got to do. You got to watch some videos on
like,
fucking body language.
How do you not see this going on?
Yeah. And I also think society's changing where, it's helping, especially the older folk start coming down off their horses and, but it still happens. And I've gotten...
You just got to arm wrestle them, put them in their spot, the younger guys are coming around.
I've had one time out on the field where I could see they were about to go at it physically. Ooh. And so I had to yell.
Sometimes you gotta let it happen, Just let it happen, get it done. All right, let's get back to work.
Look, not on location. Even though I do say it, I'm like, you know what? I know biology. Guys are gonna fight, and that's the most natural and healthiest way.
Yeah.
But I don't. What if you hit someone? They hit themselves on a pipe. They hit themselves with the wrench.
Oh, yeah.
They hit. You could.
That's the thing you have to think about. Like that's
the
thing.
Company.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I gotta tell them, you know what you guys do.
They got a broken neck. They're paralyzed now.
In one of those situations, what was the issue going on?
Egos, number one.
Okay.
Egos and jokes.
Ooh,
and
jokes.
Horse playing, I'm like, if you cannot handle it, do not
do it. Yeah.
And I mean, it's a speech I have to say several times a year because
some guys can't.
No.
Some guys can't. They can give it. Yeah. Oh, but they can't take it.
Yeah.
And when they get it back, I'm like, oh, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there were some good jokes, but he was not taking them.
Calvin has that. He works from home, but it's just his wife. You know what I mean? He tries to tell the jokes, too.
She's precious. She doesn't think I'm funny. So. She's like, aren't you supposed to be working? Like, oh. It's always a good one, you know? It's always a good
one. Yeah. So, yeah, I've had some interesting ones, but luckily nothing has ever, where I have to get in the middle. Reality is I wouldn't fucking get in the middle. I'd just let it happen, but, so, yeah.
You place bets or like, oh, I got money on this? I'm just messing.
Is it typically during like an operating situation that something like that will flare up, or?
I think it's during slow times. Like slow times usually. Yeah.
I can't tell you. I don't think I've ever paid attention if there was. What I do notice is that when it's hot, so June, July, you just tend to get aggravated easier.
Yeah.
So tempers might get shorter, and patience might get shorter. So I notice that we just have higher tensions during that time. But it's something we talk about as well. Yeah. Like it might be the heat that is putting you, over the edge, and not necessarily somebody's actions.
Sounds to me like you guys need some squencher popsicles. You know what I mean? When you see those popsicles come out, it's gonna be a long day. You know what I mean? Though that's a bad thing too. You're like, it might cool you down, but it's gonna be a long day.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things. Yeah. Thank God it's never happened, and I hope it never does. But
so do you work for a company, or you work with like multiple companies, and then you're like the safety company?
Yeah, okay. I'm a contractor, Proactive Safety, and the reason that came to be was because other companies were asking me, and the company I was working for, they were banking in, and so I'm like, well, shit, I want to make money too.
Yeah,
right. And so I ended up, and then plus, I really am a bad employee. Like, I have to say, I like doing whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And I like working at 4 a.m. or staying up, at 11 p.m. Yeah. And then when I need to take it off, I want to be able to take it off. And so, and then I think I am bossy. And I think I know what the fuck I'm doing. And so it's just better that I'm outsourced. Yeah. So I get outsourced. I have 6 big companies right now that I service.
Oh, nice.
With the intention of more.
Nice.
So is this like you putting on like training presentations for them, or how do you go about with, like, what do you do with each company?
So right now what we're doing is I'm making sure they stay compliant with their safety program. So I do their monthly safety classes, and then in between, if they need rigging and lifting, just specific
certifications and everything else too, classes
and big machinery training, and I have my employees who also can do some of those certifications. Nice. So but trying to move into leadership, because I think that's where I'm making the biggest like change. Where I had a class, and I just did it just for shits and giggles about generational differences, and I literally made this whole presentation on this generation really values work ethic. They don't care to work from sun up to sundown. This generation doesn't, and so it helped supervisors understand. Yeah. All right, I have to motivate this guy differently.
Yeah.
Motivations. People are motivated by different things.
Yeah.
Motivated by money. Others don't. Others just want to fucking get a clap and
barbecue, bro.
Yeah, some buy food.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Get some barbecue going. You know what I mean?
Some buy. Yeah.
Maybe a couple beers. I mean, I'm not condoning buying drinks, but like drinks at the end of the day does help morale tremendously.
Yeah.
In the blue, like one beer per person. You know what I mean?
And you're kind of building that friendship.
Exactly. And then everyone de-escalates at the end of the day. And I know it's hard for corporate to understand that, but like at the end of the day, that's what every blue collar person needs. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
I'm less likely to want you to get your finger chopped off. You know,
exactly.
If we're buddies.
If we have like a beer afterwards, and like, hey, you know what I mean? You fucked up today, but it's gonna be all right. You know what I mean?
No, it's true. It's true. And to get them out and do some other exercises that are not necessarily.
Yeah, or just go out go golf or not golf and like
hiking.
I don't know if they would want to go hiking.
No,
like Top Golf.
Like I'm saying, like Top Golf. Buy beers for them. You know what I mean? Like when you take care of people that way, people, like, it's, I feel like accidents don't happen because people care a lot more, you know what I mean? They care about the person that they're working next to because, you know what I mean, everyone's friends, you know what I mean? And if you think about it, at the end of the day, you're working with these people more than you see your family. Yeah. You're with these people more than you see your family. You see your family for maybe 6 hours in the blue collar life, you know what I mean, a day, and then you're working with them for 10, 12, 14 hours. You're with them longer than you are your family.
I think regardless, it goes a long way when management
sees it. Yeah, when they see it, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
What you're sacrificing, what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I've actually had a lot of success, and the guys love to hear that. Like, so I think that's where I want to be and let my employees take care of the day-to-day. But that's what I do.
So would that be more of you doing, kind of going outside of, like, not maybe just going outside of, like, blue collar in general and just doing, like, leadership?
Yes, but within the blue collar.
Okay.
I think leadership is a topic that every other industry embraces.
Right.
Here I have to change words. Like, I wouldn't say emotional intelligence.
Right.
They would fucking flip if I say fucking emotional intelligence. I'd just change the words.
What would you say?
To reading body language. And it's really not. It's just, okay, he's getting pissed off. He's getting all puffed up.
Right.
And it makes people feel like, okay, I can read body language. No, pendejo, you can just see that they're obviously pissed. Why would you engage with somebody who's pissed?
Yeah.
You know? And as simple as it sounds, it's not.
Trigger words, right?
Yeah.
As soon as somebody hears it, they think of something and they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and I've noticed a huge difference with my clients when we've worked those parts, that they take care of the safety themselves. Because these are dudes who do this in and day out.
And it doesn't seem like unsafe to them. Mm-mm. This is a day-to-day, like, oh, we do this. Oh, we use this one chain that we use every day. But then after you look at the chain, then it's worn and it could save somebody's life, you know what I mean? And that's the thing, too. Like, I understand, like, you know what I mean? Every day you're doing the same thing every day. And it's a fight with safety, too.
It is.
Because you don't want them to be compliant.
It has to be dangerous, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you do this every day, then you bring someone on, and you kind of just go through it.
Yeah.
Right? You train them.
Come on, get over here, and you do this. This is what we do every day, and then one thing happens, and one link breaks, or something happens, and someone's hurt.
That's why I say that the new employee is always going to be a hazard, regardless. Yeah. But, you know, the people who are out there are the best safety people because they do this in and day out. Safety, like, I'm out in the field once in a while. Yeah. They're out there fucking hours at a time. You know, so if I can get you guys to buy in, then that's how I do get my job done.
Right.
You know, and so...
Community enforcement, right?
Yeah.
They're taking care of each other.
Yeah. And I really think that, like, the only way you get blue-collar people to buy in is there has to be reward. Because if you're safe for a whole year and you don't get nothing out of it, like...
Yes.
What does that mean? Like, it doesn't... You know what I mean? If you're watching out for your brother's keeper, I guess no one gets hurt, luckily. But, like, there has to be, like, you know, blue-collar guys...
Home safe?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
More than going home safe?
Yeah, a little bit more, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's a little bit of both. Sometimes I'll do an exercise with my guys on writing your obituary.
Oh, gosh. Dang. I can't do that. I'm good.
And then
I'll... That was Chris at the end.
Jeez Louise. I almost started crying.
Shit is deep. And you also realize that the person next to you, like, they got family. And if something happened to them, as much as you think he's up in that hole that deserves... Because that's also an attitude.
Yeah.
Like, let it...
Oh, he's going to learn. He's going to learn.
Yep. It's fine until somebody really gets hurt.
Yeah.
You know, and so, so I could get pretty fucking grim. And I think that's where it's good to be a girl. I love it. I love being a woman because I can kind of get them into a deeper...
Yeah.
Do you feel like when you first get there, they're more standoffish because you're a woman, or?
Yes and no. Sometimes. Once again, it's the way I come off. I've learned, you know, by experience. I have tried to come off really strong, and I've noticed that shit bit me in the ass. It really bit me in the ass. So I think that coming off, I use a lot of jokes. I use a lot of, you know, kind of like, what the fuck happened? I thought you were, you know, Mr. Chingon of the year.
You're badass.
Yeah, and all of a sudden they just get all,
like,
you know,
all right.
Yeah, and versus me coming off and getting confrontational, which I've learned the hard way, unfortunately. But fortunately, I can't do that. You know, I use my women.
I think that's even if you're a man too. Like, someone comes if someone shows up and like, what the fuck are you doing and everything else, instead of like, dude, what's going on or what messed up, you know what I mean? It's just, that's just, I don't know. It's high risk all the time, and then when someone fucks up, then it's just like, oh god, it's like the worst. It feels like I've had it happen to me before, and it feels terrible. It's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
And luckily, no one got hurt with mine, but it was just very. We had a very near miss that could have been really bad.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I don't think I've learned, but it's been a journey of trial and error, but yeah, I think that right now that you're speaking, near misses, when you actually see it happen, I think everybody's defenses come down and they will admit, for the most part. Very few men that I've worked with won't admit when they fucked up. When it's bad, they'll come in and you could just see it.
Yeah.
Like, yep, I fucked up.
On their face, you're just like,
they'll know exactly what they did. So it's more like, all right, what can we do? And then I have to have some disciplinary actions. It has to be part of my action. Like,
right.
You already know, all right, 2 days, 3 days, whatever it is, and they'll take it like a champ for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do have some colorful folk, though, that won't.
Yeah.
But,
that's anybody, right?
Yeah.
Anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had to take a guy home off the field because he was being a smartass before.
Ooh.
Yeah, I ended up calling him El Motivado, Mr. Motivated, because just as being a fucking smartass, because he was, anything I would say, he was just arguing back.
Yeah.
And using safety against me.
Yeah,
you fucked up?
Yeah. No, but like when someone does that, like, you're trying to make sure that he's being safe, and then he's like, oh fuck that, you know what I mean? And then you gotta just take him home, you know what I mean?
I had gone out to the field. In the oil and gas, if you have buttons, you have to be tucked in. Okay. The reason is because it could be a caught, like it could catch on a tool, on the grinder, it can catch on something. And if there's a flash fire, what happens with clothing and wind and fire?
No loose clothing, right?
Yeah, so then you defeat the purpose of having that FR on. And I had told him 3 times, tuck in. And I go up on my day and, but for about a month, they kept telling me, hey, the people from these big companies are coming, and we're telling him, hey, dude, they're checking on us, fucking tuck in. He wouldn't do it. And so finally I went out, and he's like, well, I don't like to be tucked in, I'm hot, and da-da-da-da, and there could be heat stress. Keep in mind, it was like 48 degrees. This dude. And so just things like that, then he just kept, and we were arguing, I'm like, nope, we're not doing this. Go get your shit, and you're just going to come with me. And that was it. And I just ignored it. Luckily, the supervisor had my back. Everybody had my back. So in the car, he started to calm down. But I'm like, why the fuck do we got to do this?
Exactly.
Like, And so, yeah. And after that, I kept using him as an example and answering all my questions at safety meetings. So then what ended up happening is he got his attitude fixed real quick. That's why he's Mr. Motivated. Because he won Motivation of the Year for that year.
Is that like the most extreme case of somebody just not complying?
No. I had a group of guys who just they just didn't like the fact that I was safety, because what the fuck did I know? I had never worked in the field.
Right.
What the fuck would you know?
You haven't done it.
Yeah. Until there was a near miss, and they saw what I did in front of corporate people, because I'm good at paperwork. I know what they need to see.
Right.
I can be in an office and they're sitting there shaking. No que no.
Right.
Like I thought I wasn't with shit.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, it was maybe like a year of disrespect, talking, talking over me at safety meetings, and so it does happen, and it's gonna continue to happen. Any woman in any industry, you're coming into a male's world, and that's just what it is. But it's a fucking tax you could pay. And once they start respecting you and you start showing what you come with, like, I feel it's also a very safe world as well. I'm one of the most protected people if something were to happen by a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
So,
And that's how it is. Like, there's a lot of women that work in the construction industry now. Like, way more women than I've ever. Because when I first started, and there was like hardly any. Now there's women that do welding, and there's women that are in the construction sites. cleaning, doing drywall, finishing, painting, all of that, and it's just more and more. It's inevitable. It's going to keep going more and more too.
Right.
And because you can earn really well.
Yeah,
Sometimes
exactly.
I would like to be a fucking electrician, seeing how much they earn.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Would you have any advice for like those women like getting into a blue collar world?
I've been trying to speak more about this. That it's one of those. There's money. There's money to be made here, and there's ways to move up the ladder. And I think that women in any industry get a bad rep. Like the only way we can move up is if we're doing something to somebody, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Electrician
like Joy Taylor? Like Joy Taylor or what?
No, I agree. Like there's always a bad rap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any woman that's a leader, all of a sudden there's a
certain way she got up there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's people that accuse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Regardless, right? Yeah.
But regardless, if you don't and you're poor as shit, there's still, you know what I mean? Like they could still, I don't give a fuck. I do not care what you think, as long as I know what I'm doing. I know how I got there, and my bank account is where I would like it to be. My lifestyle is where I want it to be. And at the end of the day, it really is a safe industry with some bad apples. And I've worked in all women industry, and it's the same shit. It's just gossip, and it could be toxic, and it could, so it's the same thing. I think that it was shunned upon for so long, but I've been seeing more and more women, and I'm so proud. And
I just think women need to start supporting women. I saw no cap. I say it. No, I'm saying women are mean to women.
Yeah,
they are mean to women. And women, if you guys support women, you guys will take over the world just in a day. If everyone just supported every woman, I'm not kidding you. Like, but the women are sometimes they're mean, dude.
Do you think there's more gossip working with men or with women?
Oh, that's
what
good.
chisme? What's a chisme?
I
So I feel
always
like guys are just
swore.
bad.
I used to swear that it was women until I started working with guys.
Older men too. Older men. Oh, they have the cheese, bro. They know all the stuff.
I'm surprised how fast things get around.
Oh, yeah.
I'm baffled at how fast things get around in the
through companies and other companies and everything else through the whole industry. It'll be gone in one day. This everybody knows.
Yeah. It's crazy. So no, I think we're tied. I think just women get the bad rep, but absolutely not.
I think they need to start a new Days of Our Lives, but like the blue collar edition.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
WWE, bro. Soap opera.
That is.
Wrestling is.
That's what wrestling is. A soap opera.
The gossiping backstage and stuff.
Yeah. That's how it is. No, men are pretty bad. It's interesting. Yeah, they don't really cheese me out with me, but I'll get information from people, and I'm like, how the hell that's not even the company you work with. How do you know something about somebody else?
My favorite when I used to work in the office was like the warehouse guys coming into the office, and then they always have something to say. As soon as you see them, there's something going on back there.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Sounds like The Office. What's his name?
Yeah, exactly.
What was his name? That used to play the piano, comedian, play the piano.
Patrice O'Neal? Craig Robinson.
Craig Robinson. He was always the bad guy in the office. He was the guy in the...
Messing up in the warehouse.
He was the guy in the warehouse, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's an interesting field, but it's good. I would tell any woman, like, go for it. Go for it. There's so much money to be made, and it's interesting, and it just depends on what you want to do. There could be admin work, but there could also be, like, hands-on. And there's women out there who are hands-on, so do it. Yeah.
How about with, just with like safety and leadership, like someone that would want to, like, what advice would you give to yourself now that you've been
in safety?
Yeah.
I honestly, like, why didn't I get in this faster, honestly, and take advantage? Because when I first did it, I really just saw it as like a job.
Yeah.
I didn't think, and I wasn't investing in learning until I realized that you can make good money, one. And it's a product I genuinely like to sell. Teaching people how not to die.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's impact in that.
Yeah.
Do I necessarily love going out to the field? Like, no, but in any job, there's going to be shit you don't like.
Right.
And so in safety, there's always people looking, especially if you can speak both language.
Yeah,
there's a huge demand for bilingual. So much that we're just being pulled in every direction that I can't fulfill. Yeah. And so A lot of companies hire within, and they'll pay for you to build. Take advantage of that.
Right.
That's how I did it. I self-certified. I figured out, well, my competitor is doing X classes. Let me figure out how he got there. Fucking the web tells you what you need to take, what you need to learn.
Yeah.
I self-learned from YouTube.
Yeah.
Trenching and excavation, I learned by being under pressure for 6 hours. I had to present in 6 hours amongst company owners. Some of them were owners of excavation companies, and I had to know what the fuck. I didn't even know what trenching and excavation was until I Googled it that morning. But there's nothing YouTube can't show you.
Yeah. Or not even just YouTube, just your own, what's the word? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Your own resources?
Yeah, you're like your own research, you know what I mean, that you do, you know what I mean?
And then asking the guys.
Yeah.
So I learned the rules, right?
And I think that's what helps people too, is when you ask them, hey, what's going on? Like, that gives them this is what's going on. Like,
yes.
Because instead of someone just coming, what the fuck's going on here? Instead of be like, hey, what's going on here? Like, because it's not always like, when someone asks you that, then you kind of like have to, like this is what's going on. And but when someone comes up and like, what the fuck's going on here? Then you don't really want to explain what's going on. It's like, you just get out of here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I learned a lot from them, which I think that also helped with the relationship with those early companies. That I would go out and ask, hey, I need to figure out, what a trencher is.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, and I genuinely ask that person. And when you've been working with this and people start asking about your job, you share. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I'm sharing their stories at the safety meetings.
Yeah.
And without them, they would die to be up there. I can speak in front of people easily.
Yeah.
But it's their stories. So I think then that buys in and they want to share more stories. And back in, 19 whatever, we used to do it like this now. And all of my knowledge is because of them. And I say it all the time.
And I'm sure it's easier for them to relate to someone. You're giving a story about someone who's been through the situation instead of just telling them what they need to do or why they're fucking up.
Mm-hmm. And why it's
important. The book says you need to do it this way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But then I'll also explain the book because the OSHA rules, the reason they're rules
there,
is because somebody fucking died.
Yeah.
Like that book is made of blood. They wouldn't have it wouldn't have gone up to legislation if it wasn't because somebody died. Unfortunately, that's how our country is.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to die in order for us to be
tied off for 4 foot.
Yeah.
4 foot.
Which, I got issues with that, but okay.
Yeah, samesies. Because if you'll hit the ground before your lander catches you, unless you're tying above you, like 10 feet. But you have to get to that 10 feet first, so how you can be tied off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Things like that.
Yeah.
So, getting that
just
buy-in.
do things safely and do it smartly and do it slowly. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Just pay attention, take your time. Hopefully God's on your side.
Exactly. Accidents happen most during holidays because people's minds, they just want to hurry. So all of that, like do it slowly. During holidays, I have to be a little extra. Like, guys, remember, the day's still coming. Time's not going away.
Right.
We want to make sure you get there. Because, people will hurry through it.
Yeah, make it to Christmas.
Mm-hmm. And then also during the summer is when we'll get a lot of heat stress accidents because when our barbecues. Right. Then you go to work dehydrated, work for fucking 6-7 hours under 120 degrees.
Especially on the weekends, I'm sure.
Mondays are when the hospitals are full with tradespeople.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's insane. Yeah. So, it's an interesting occupation. Sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Stressful, always putting out fires. I feel like most of my stuff is negative. I try to make it positive as much as I can, but...
How do you try to stay, lighthearted, at the end of the day? How do you try to, get away from that?
That's a great question.
Is there a way that you figured out yet to kind of separate it, or?
No, because it hasn't ended. So I'm on 9 years in doing this occupation. And now I have to understand that as long as nobody has died, we've made it another day.
Right.
And the problem's not going to go away. Tomorrow we're going to have the same problem. So I think I've gotten really good at cutting and boxing all my, parts of my life. Because it can take over. It really can. So. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So like moving from oil and gas, is there like, are you nervous to get into anything else, or do you just feel confident?
So oil and gas right now in Colorado, it has very, very high standards. That construction, I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, why are you guys not doing? Yeah.
Like there's oil and gas.
Yeah.
Like if you have a spill, like if you spill like 2 gallons of water, you have to report it to the hazmat.
Well,
and there's cement trucks that are spraying water all over their barrels just driving down the road. Like, how is this okay? Like, you're on the side and you actually spill like an ounce of coolant and you have to report it to the hazmat and everything else too. But oil and gas way higher, way higher.
In Colorado.
Yeah.
In Texas and other states is different, but
pools of oil and they don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, oil and gas, you have to have sound barriers around each side. You have to have.
Yep.
It's
good.
It's
good.
It's not. It's a lot of extra steps.
Obviously,
you don't understand when we go to the sites and we move the rig. It's covered in plastic. The whole
liner.
The whole thing is covered in plastic,
as it should be,
and it's sealed onto the where you're gonna drill. Everything else, and if there's any spill or anything else, it's reported and it's dragged through.
Good. Because when I was in oil and gas, my boots were fucking oily as a motherfucker. Just fucking stomping through everything.
You worked in oil and gas?
Yeah.
2 weeks.
No,
I worked 2 weeks. Don't listen to here. I did it for 6 years.
As long as 6 months of my life. I worked in pipeline for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Puro pinche pipeliner.
Long time ago.
Yeah. But like on the business side, that's kind of good too, because I tell people too, if the more requirements they have, that's contracts right there.
Yeah.
That liner, somebody fucking got that contract. The sound wall, somebody got that contract.
And then we had to wash the rigs before we move them. Yeah. So we tear the rigs down and then had to wash them on the trucks and then make sure they're clean before we go to the next site. It was
That's another line item right there.
Oh, dude.
Extra charge.
Yep. So there's money to be made.
Yeah, there's money to be made. You just got to find out where it's at.
Yeah, that's it. And so construction's not too bad. But
having a smaller business, do you feel like are there any competitors that you feel like
you hate?
No. Let's do it.
Oh, that's funny. Not hate. That's not the word, but
like a rivalry with.
Yeah, a made-up rivalry that I feel that is helping me.
That's good. That's good then.
Oh,
you have
like
to
your
have
Michael Jordan thing.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, there's another company and then people compare me because she was also a woman in the industry,
Turn off your mic.
I got you.
Has it happened before?
Yeah. Chris takes off to the bathroom and I'm talking and we're having a good convo and then it's like he's peeing over the
really
on the audio. Like it sounds good on live and stuff and I'm on the audio or I already posted it and I'm going back through and like chaptering because our podcast is so long I have to throw chapters so people don't get bored. I'm throwing a bunch of chapters in there and I'm like, oh, I missed it. And it's like 30 seconds and I'm just like, shit. But it's very too late at that point, you know?
So you edit all your stuff too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Why don't you get an editor?
We can't afford
Costs money.
Yeah, you can.
No, I like doing that stuff too.
Okay.
I don't like.
Okay, that's
fine. Because you know why?
Got it.
You know why? Because Calvin knows what our funny is, and if someone tries to make it. Make something funny that wasn't supposed to be funny, then Calvin knows what our funny is.
Got it. Okay.
I don't know though. We had some comments. Someone loves Chris in our comments.
Really?
It's just fucking hilarious. And I'm
hilarious.
I guess we have to make more clips of Chris. I guess I've been messing up.
I am hilarious,
The last couple episodes have been pretty good.
Yeah.
I've been trying, I've been trying,
Yeah, it doesn't take too long to edit and stuff for me. The podcast is easy. It's doing like TikTok clips and all that stuff during the week because then I'll run out of time and I don't I try to get one out a week, but last week I didn't get that many clips out.
Yeah.
But that's kind of editing and making it look good too. Because like we've grown. Like if you look at our first clips, it used to be like.
Yeah, we're in 4K now.
Yeah, we're in 4K now. Let's go.
But I love those those transformations because you guys are putting in the work.
Oh yeah. We've been doing it for a long time, and there's a lot of people who've been starting podcasts, and they've made it like 10 episodes in. You know what I mean? 12 episodes in, and famous people. And me and Calvin are over here on 89, so we're just we're just gonna be consistent and just keep doing what we're doing, and it'll kick off. I'm not too worried about it. You know what I mean? And if people are gonna enjoy. More and more people enjoy our content every time that me and Calvin post a clip or the whole podcast too.
Yeah.
So
we do really good on TikTok. Our TikTok clips do good.
Nice.
Instagram's like, up and down, and then...
No, but I think the TikTok's where it's at.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's where it's at.
If it's good on TikTok, I'll post it on Instagram. That's basically how it is.
Oh, that's a good way to...
Yeah, we had one that blew up on... We have a couple, actually, that blew up on TikTok.
Our best one's on Instagram. We had 1 million views.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's our fantasy draft. We're, like, pulling beers.
Oh.
Yeah. We pulled... I told Calvin... it was my idea. It was good, you know what I mean? You write them on the beer cans, and you put them in the cooler, and then whatever person pulls out, then that's your draft order.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that one still gets likes every day.
Yeah.
And I posted that like 8 months ago.
But it's just hard still. It's like pointing out content, you know what I mean? Because me and Calvin, there's times where me and Calvin are just busy on the weekend too. Oh, we can't do this weekend, especially summer.
Yeah, summer gets tough.
And then we just gotta just squeeze.
Yeah.
Then when we have a podcast, we gotta make it good, you know?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
But yeah, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, when you get to a point, I have a couple people because I've outsourced it because I don't have time and I'm not.
Shoot.
Yeah, I've outsourced it to some.
How do you feel about all of that? Like
about what?
Like, do you post the clips or?
Yeah, I post them from my account. But that's more on the company side. I'm really working on my personal brand as well, and I do that more because I want to learn. I genuinely want to learn. But for the company, I want it to be a little bit more professional, and so I outsource. I mean, 100 and something a month is not bad. Yeah. No. So that's cool. And I have people that I build relationships with.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I know how Calvin is, and he has to do a certain way, and I know his way is my way though.
Giving Mikey control.
It was so hard.
It was so hard.
When we first got my cousin Mikey to produce, and he was behind he's just like Calvin's just like dying behind the scenes.
Yeah, it was hard.
Now he just lets go. Calvin just lets go now.
Now it's cool.
Good.
Yeah. But yeah.
Delegating's a hard
thing. Because before it used to be me and Calvin just on the all you see us is like on the computer, like no.
Yeah, I've seen your guys where the computer was right by front of you.
Me and Chris just huddled over it.
No, delegating is hard.
That's the thing too, is evolving, you know what I mean? Yeah. Evolving every day and just trying to be better, and that's what me and Calvin have been trying to do, you know what I mean? So I don't see us going anywhere, you know what I mean? We're gonna be here. We ain't going nowhere.
We'll see. We're
not leaving. We've had some really good guests that have been on really good platforms. One of our guests got on to Kill Tony.
Oh shit.
Yeah, twice.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool. We have a couple friends that have moved. A couple of people have been on our podcast that have, just done. With the one guy just moved to Austin, so he's been going on a bunch of like their stuff, podcasts. So.
Nice.
Yeah, we focus like on comedian things, but we also want to do like local businesses and
local people
as well.
That's
get
good.
some just regular people's influence, not regular people, just like I guess it is regular people like
just like us.
Yeah, just like us. You know what I mean? It's like people like us, because you never know, someone's story is going to be incredible. You know what I mean? There's plenty of people that you meet at the bar or anywhere you go eat, you sometimes run into people and then you hear some incredible stories, you know what I mean? That's all me kind of just trying to get out.
Yeah.
It's like people stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pino on here, and Pino was the first one that blew us up.
Yeah.
On TikTok. Pino blew us up on TikTok.
We got like 100 subscribers on YouTube from Pino.
Yeah. Pino's our foundation.
Yeah, he is. He's coming back. We're trying to get him back in March.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. That's good.
It's been a while since he came.
I saw him at the wrestling.
Oh, did you?
At State. Yeah. He's very active.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
gonna wrestle in this episode though. I'm gonna put a mat down there.
Are you?
I don't know, man. He might
just throw me.
Yeah. He has those old man tricks.
Oh yeah. That strength, that grip strength. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is there like how do you feel like getting in, like putting yourself out on the internet, like?
Now I'm okay with it. At the beginning I was not, but at the end of the day, fuck it. Let's go. I'm okay with it. Mm-hmm.
We had a clip that went like pretty good. Like I've learned my lesson. We've had a clip that went like pretty viral, And it was with my wife telling the story, and I was just interrupting, and I was drunk, and then just people just going in on me. Calvin had to delete some comments I've never even seen. They're just going in on me. Oh yeah, tell that motherfucker shut up. The guy in the green's annoying as fuck, and it really helped me, like, you know what I mean? What's that called? Self-centered me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Because our first couple of podcasts, we were just drinking and just being stupid and just
trying to figure things out.
Yeah. And now, like, I think we've done a pretty good job. Yeah. It was bad. Like, there's just people just. That video got like over 150,000 views, and there was like 600 comments of just me, just shit talking me.
No, more than that. There's a lot of comments. There's like 30 comments, and most of them are talking shit about Chris.
But that's some people's strategy.
Yeah.
That's like a legit strategy that they go for things that provoke people.
Oh, not
like
for me.
Mr. Latinos for Trump over here.
Yeah, that's Calvin.
Don't say that on the internet.
That's Calvin.
He's saying that for a different reason. I didn't vote for him. I have the shirt on.
I disagree with Calvin. He tells me something, I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, there's been a couple, and now it's not necessarily like, not trying to like bait people, you know, but putting a certain thing that draws interest.
That's part of marketing. You kind of have to. But it just depends on what you want to do with it. But, hey, I mean, if you already have it.
Me and Calvin did body shots on the podcast. It was like one of our first episodes. And the
episode 22.
The opening scene is me laying on the table naked and not naked, but like your shirt off. Your shirt off, and then Calvin taking a body shot off of me.
Chris always brings this up. I think he wants to do it again.
I'm gonna lay down though this time.
We didn't post that episode.
No?
So that tells you what happened.
It's lost.
Okay.
It was a lost episode. The camera didn't record or something, and it was like a 3-hour episode too. It was good.
We got banned on TikTok. Everything happened on that one.
Really?
Yeah.
TikTok.
We've got banned.
So
we've got banned.
So
we got banned on TikTok. We're not even worried about it anymore. It just happens.
No, for a while it was going down like first 10 minutes. Like we'd start the podcast first 10
Really?
minutes.
Oh yeah, it'd be banned.
Our last guest was Nick.
Nick, yeah.
And he said, I don't even want to say it, G-A-Y.
Okay.
Like a few times within the first 5 minutes. And
we got banned. First 10 minutes banned. It was like, I'm like, Mikey, what happened to live? He's all, you got banned. I was like, oh, gosh.
Yeah.
That'd be dope if you guys got like some Ash Trevino on here doing a podcast.
Oh,
that would get you some lives. You guys know who she is, right? This is horrible. I should not know. I should do better with my life. But the fact that I went down that hole.
Is she on TikTok?
Yeah. She's just a mess. It's a mess. But she gets a lot of views. Like, even her bed bugs and shit gets views.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Hey, these couches, you know what I mean? We don't have the station up in here, you know? I don't know the we can put a circus tent over this, and what is that called? When they do that? When they put like a circus tent over it, then they like spray chemicals in here.
Pest control. Yeah, but she was like, she got famous for being an inmate hopper, and literally it's like a Jerry Springer show of mess. That's why I'm saying, like, I mean, it just depends.
Calvin would love to have a Jerry Springer show. That was Calvin's dream. Yes, he would.
No.
Yes.
I can't ask questions like that.
And then have Mario host.
Yeah.
Yes, Mario would be the greatest host ever.
He could ask questions.
Antagonizer.
He'd be good at that, but I couldn't. I'm not. Being Chris Phil. I get uncomfortable.
Yeah, and then I get uncomfortable. I was like, all right.
We had our last female guest was a sugar baby. So we were having trouble like getting more in depth with those questions.
I should have just said it, you know what I mean? What was on my mind? Just blotted it out, you know.
You see it like on the when I was editing, you just see me and Chris, and we're just like, what do we say? Like, me and him are both looking at the camera like, what do we say?
Really?
Here? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think we're better now. We're better interviewers now.
It was the first 30 minutes or so. After that, we were, it was fun.
Nice.
But we were just a little awkward at first.
I'm sure.
Very awkward.
Do you guys feel uncomfortable with me?
No.
We'll have
Are you a sugar baby?
You know what? Sometimes I think about it. Some of these girls, not even a sugar baby. Those ones that sell like weird shit, like toenail clippings or like farts in a jar.
Actually, farts is our thing too. So if you want to buy a fart jar, this is
If you go TikTok
We're
live
going TikTok
every day and say that,
live. TikTok live.
And then have all your jars here.
Yeah, sealed with barcodes.
Don't give him ideas.
Barcodes, you know what I mean?
This idea.
It was at this time.
I'm gonna come back and they're gonna be all here instead of having like the bottles.
A bunch of jars.
The fart bars. The fart jars.
Vacuum sealed. You know what I mean?
Because I hear that some of those women make bank. And so it makes me question.
Oh, like, I've been trying to. I might sell some farts too, some stinky ones. Mm-hmm. Can you sell spicy ones? You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to do.
That's.
As like a pranks, you know what I mean? Like open this jar and it's just bad.
Oh my goodness!
Just imagine opening.
That's a whole business right there.
Yeah, I know it is.
Prank
It's a
farts?
great business. Yeah, prank farts, dude. Genius idea, $1 million idea right here. We're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's recorded.
You could do
live on the
business
podcast.
with anything though. That's what I think. I like. Yes, safety.
Yeah.
But
it's all about convenience,
business,
right?
yeah.
You're giving those businesses convenience because they just call you. Don't have to worry about it. You come in, handle it for them, right?
Yeah. And working with different companies and like just getting into the business world, just anything can be a fucking business. Anything.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just pretty cool. Like farts in a jar. I mean.
I'm just saying, it took really good. Me and Calvin were talking about it, and it was. We went off the deep end. Yeah, we remember that episode?
That was before Mikey, huh?
Yeah, it was before Mikey
came. Mikey wouldn't let us go that far.
We'd be like, all right, guys, it's time to end the podcast.
Right now, he'd be like, all right, stop talking about that. And he'd ask you a question.
Keep us on track.
He's been good at like keeping us on track.
Because me and Calvin have ADHD pretty bad, so the ADHD is.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it starts flaring up.
Unmedicated.
Yeah,
we're unmedicated too, all right? We're not medicated.
There's this woman that does sells nothing but gym underwear.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so she goes to the gym, records herself like a mini little video in the underwear she's in, and then
how much is she selling these for?
Okay, guess.
Oh,
guess.
Fuck.
I was shocked, and once again,
I'd
makes
say
me fucking question.
$50. It has to be at least $50.
$50.
Is it
$50? I would not
yes.
spend $50.
Yeah, she literally.
Shipping and handling.
One day shipping.
The cost of overhead, which would be the panties, but I'm pretty sure she could get like a bundle or go to Sam's, you know, or not. Can we say?
Oh, Victoria's Secret has Victoria's Secret has what is that? Like 5 for 12? 5 for 12 or something like that?
$12.
$5 ones.
I was thinking like she's selling her gym shorts, you know, like booty shorts or something like
that.
No. Like a chon that's been sweated in. Oof. And people buy sweated
there's no way I could buy. There's no way I could spend that
She's
money.
Like, she shows like the little band, like I'm wearing pink today, and just goes on that Stairmaster and just.
Yeah, and then
she just
thing. She says that her clients just want to make sure that she actually sweated in it, and so she records herself putting it into the bag after she's been sweating. Yeah, she sold wax strips from like her underpits.
Oh.
Yeah, she waxed her underarms and sold that for $150.
No way.
Yes. I'm telling you, like, it makes me question, like, what the fuck?
Like, is she, like, a famous influencer, or did she just get famous selling?
She got famous because she sold a bunch of random stuff. And there's, like, a whole
Do you think women would buy underwear from men? See, that's what I'm saying. Men are gross.
I think so. Like a shirt to sleep in?
Maybe.
Ooh, like a used shirt?
Your favorite singer or something?
You're right.
Buy their,
like a used shirt?
You know?
Ooh, Calvin, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's true. With cologne, I would buy something like that with cologne.
You have their like.
Or you want the musk,
too, you know?
Or do you want the musk? You know what I mean? Just see, women are different. Men are disgusting.
I don't know. I feel like some women could be into the musky.
I'd like to see stats on that. I would love to see actual stats.
Men
on
are
how
just
much.
disgusting. Men will buy anything. They don't give a fuck. If they have money.
This is my juicy thong.
You want to smell it?
Juicy chonies.
You want to smell it? Show and tell or something or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. She
Oh,
sold some
God.
like really insane things. And,
So does that like not related but related but so like men and like in blue collar they've always like respected you and everything else. They've never been like disrespectful. Just like
I know what you're where you're going.
Insinuating.
I could tell when they're talking about me.
Yeah.
But that's anywhere. It's not like blue collar like you know when you're going out at a restaurant there's a group of guys everybody gets all quiet all of a sudden and they're looking at each other. Conversations.
Guys are the worst, Doug.
You know.
They're easy to read. Yeah. Guys are just like a book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
the ones that make it creepy are like the older dudes.
Oh yeah.
That are you know what I mean? Like come on, you know. But it happens. I make sure to stay safe. Like I don't go somewhere where I know I'm going to be the only one. We're going to be in an enclosed space. Yeah. Nobody knows where I'm at. So little things like that I just make sure I stay safe. They'll try to throw shots. Like, they'll try, like, oh, you should smile more. You look better. You know what I mean? Like, but, I don't know. It's just I'm just so used to it that I just can, override it.
Just ignore it.
Yeah. Or I'll start talking about their wives.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll start talking about their wives.
See?
Like, so, yeah. Like, how's your wife doing?
You know how to play the game.
Yeah. I have to say, like, and I've worked with maybe over 100, over 500 guys, like, in these last 9 years. Not a single one has ever made me actually feel unsafe.
Oh, okay, that's good then.
Have I had to put, or especially when they have my
tape.
Yeah. Or when they have my
2 cones of caution tape.
Yep. I've had to send messages back like, hey, my phone number is not for you to use personally. Oh. So I've had to say, keep
your distance. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think guys are really, and not just guys, I don't know, but they're easy to kind of put, like, once they get very professional, they kind of know.
Yeah.
It's the cut.
Do you ever have it where they feel hurt by that, and then they have a different relationship with you afterwards?
Very.
Yeah.
Yes.
They used to bring her flowers.
Is that fairly?
They used to bring her food.
Lunch,
She's like, damn it, I have to get rid of this.
I
gotta stay professional.
That it's actually reset. So in the last year, I have a partner. The moment that I went from single to having a boyfriend or being something serious, I can tell a difference in the way they treat me. And it's just one of those things, like, I know it's coming. Because when they know I'm single, men, single or not, like, and that's sad to say, but they may not be single. They may have a whole happy family, but they will treat a woman differently. In my experience. So I'm not speaking for all women, in my experience.
Do you see that in, like, the friendliness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they stop bringing me burritos. All of a sudden, they start bringing me coffee, which is fine. Like, don't fucking do it. It's fine. I never asked for it.
Yeah.
But I can just tell the difference in treating me.
More standoffish.
Well, you'll take it, though. You know what I mean? Hey, thank you. I mean, say less.
Yeah. So, no, they have. There's a very clear difference.
Have you noticed, like, the chisme a little bit after you get
a boyfriend?
Like, yeah.
What
after you get, like, does that spread? Like,
it spread like wildfire.
Ooh.
And then, okay, worst case.
Everyone's just sad depression through the whole job site. That's all.
And then I got with somebody that I worked with.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so that, I'm sure that.
Yeah, it spread like wild. Yes, it spread. But it's one of those things that the moment I accepted the conversation to go further, I knew exactly where it was going.
Yeah.
But this dude, he's a fucking sweetheart. Like, for years, he was just always early to safety meetings, like, helping me with all my shit. Man. Never came off as a creep, ever.
Yeah.
Until I figured out, like, oh, he's trying to talk to me. Like, he's not just nice.
That's nice. And, you know what I mean? Instead of just being, like, a weirdo, you know what I mean? Just being nice, and then that's where it ends up, you know what I mean? That's good.
And so So I don't regret that. I knew exactly what I was doing, and I knew what the repercussions was going to be.
Yeah.
And,
As a woman, is that an easier, like gateway to, like, a relationship, as far as, like, someone just being much more, just, like, helpful, and you don't necessarily know that they're pursuing you?
Okay, rephrase that so that I can...
Would you rather have someone who just lets you know, like, hey, I'm trying to, like, not necessarily on a job site, but just...
like, super short. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
I'm gonna...
Just, like, I guess, just as a woman in general, like, would you prefer that? Who someone just kind of helps you and you don't really necessarily realize that they're into you? Or someone who's more, like forward? Yeah.
Straightforward.
Or is that, like...
good. Yeah. I would, like low-key been wanting to give... And I told this to my boyfriend. I'm like, I would love to do, like, a workshop with the nice guys. Because I think there's a balance. Okay. You have to be nice enough where you're not coming at me, but at the same time, confidence is sexy. And I like to be, and I think most women, they like the chase.
Right.
they like to be chased. You know what I mean? And so there's that fine balance, because I feel like a lot of nice guys end up in the friend zone.
Oh, yeah.
Because of that. You don't make it clear,
too many times.
and you don't stay sexy enough. You don't stay attractive, because that male, you know, that, like, you still have to, I have to be sexually, physically attracted.
Right.
But I think, too, is also being in the nice guy is you don't want to be you're like, you're riding a fine line, and then you're too nice, and then you're just friend zone, and then you're just like, you're heartbroken for the rest of your life, and then you just become an asshole, and then you ruin women for the rest of your life. Yeah. That's what happens.
No, it's true. It's true.
Are you talking about somebody you work with? You want to drop a name? I can beep it out later.
Oh, I got plenty of names.
More than one.
Yeah.
No, but I feel like that's like in general, not just in the working industry. You know what I mean? Just general.
Yeah,
you know
general. I mean? Yeah, and so I think if it wasn't because of the state that I was in, and I said this to him, I would have never given you a chance. Like, let's just be honest, you know. But because I have done a lot of work on myself to actually see qualities more than money, more than physical attraction, like the fact that he's nice without wanting anything in return for years. Yeah. Not months, years.
Yeah.
And just that pursue. I don't think I would have given him the chance. Let's just be honest, you know. And so, if it wasn't that, I was like, okay, what do you want? Are you gonna ask me for coffee? Are we going for coffee or not?
Yeah.
Yes. And he says that he's like, I felt like a whole shock through my body. He's like, I didn't even know what to say. I didn't know what to do. And so, and then women in the trades, I feel, is also like a big stigma. Because I was actually told this before by a foreman in my single years, where he's like, you don't think that by what you're doing what you're doing, you're putting yourself in a place where no man's going to want to marry you. He said it in those words, and I'm like, well, what do you mean?
Okay, hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Was this a Hispanic man?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's right. Yeah, it is.
Yep.
It's easy to read.
Yeah.
Easy to read.
Yeah. And so, and I kind of almost accepted that for a while.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if nobody wants to be with me because I know, like, my personality, and I'm very, but then I guess that's their loss, and I was fine with my life, so I didn't necessarily need a guy. I wanted one. I wanted a partner, but not needed one.
Yeah.
And that's different.
So, like, with the the increasing amount of women working in the industry now, do you see anything like women against women, or are they all supportive in the industry, or is it women against, like, trying to?
No, I think there's it's equal. I've encountered some women that are combative and a lot of
I was the first
competitive.
one here.
Yeah. But I think that there's also a lot of support because, for example, there are certain issues that women face that only we would know. You know, for example, our bodies just work differently. Yeah. And so then there's certain things like, hey, do you have a certain product? It went out.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
The live's going down.
You can stop it real quick.
I got you.
Yeah. So things like that, you know what I mean? Feminine bodies work differently.
Well, they have their own porta potties. Mm-hmm. I gotta say it again. I'll say it. I've said it like 5 times on this podcast. Porta potties suck in the cold and the heat.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between the male porta potties and the women's?
It's just males are just nasty.
Mm-hmm. Everywhere.
Women's are clean.
Yeah, but like, do you guys have like a?
Usually they'll have some
like
kind
a code
of sign.
Or something?
They'll not a code. They'll just say women.
Or they'll be locked, and then they have the women only have the code for the.
Or a key.
Now, Chris, if there's a woman's porta potty and it's unlocked.
Oh, I wish I could go poop in that one. I wish I could.
If they're unlocked, they do. There's been times where they are locked, and you can.
Yeah, women's are locked. Women's have a lock, and only the women know the code to the. They have like a little code.
Secret. They just tell each other. When they get
on the company will give it to them.
The company provides women porta potties.
Yeah, because of that, we actually have to sit. Yeah. And they're in it, and it has happened where you sit
men are disgusting, you know what I mean?
And it sucks. It sucks.
Ice cold. Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that could be an industry right there. I'm trying to, I might even start one by myself. You know what I mean? Trailer, heated bathrooms. They can take the job sites nowadays. You know what I mean? Make it a
her potty.
Make it an OSHA. No, for men and women. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We're trying to be equal. Men and women get heated and cooled.
Bidets and all that shit.
Oh, yeah, bidets.
Don't get us started on bidets.
They'll be in there for days. On a hot day, that cool stream just cooling you down from the inside out.
I think on our last episode we were talking about bidets, and someone commented they're not even expensive. Me and Chris were talking about like how it's fancy. Yeah, people like the bidets.
Have you had a bidet?
Yeah.
It's nice.
My neighbors have a bidet, so that's the only time I've been able to use one.
Chris was skeptical.
I just go over the poop every time.
Just knock on their door.
Hey, time for the bidet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, yeah, but what else you guys got? What other questions you guys want to?
Empowering women.
Okay.
I think what's your focus there? Is that your focus with your content or?
Yes. So I'm still playing with my content, see what exactly I want to do. Like I said, safety is one brand, and I want to make sure that I keep safety of that brand because that company will eventually run on its own.
Can I ask you something right there, like what you just said? Like, how much of your daily life has impacted from you learning safety now? Oh. Like how much do you see like putting on your seatbelt and just like being aware, like walking through a parking lot and just being aware of where you walk around and everything else too? How much has that impacted your life after learning about safety?
All right, you guys want to know the truth then?
Yeah. She just went.
My brother's the one who pointed this out because sometimes I'm horrible as well. So trust me. I'm like, when I need to get somewhere fast, I will get there.
Too fast, too furious.
And so he's like, you know what? He's like, you fucking suck at safety. He's like, you're just good at criticizing. So I think a lot of my work is I have to go out and catch things. Yeah. And that's what I explain to the guys. Look, you guys always say that I'm just here looking at the negative. That's what I'm paid to do.
Yeah.
Is to go and catch, so I get paid to criticize. And so I train myself to look for certain things.
Yeah.
Working at heights is always one of my biggest priorities because that's where the biggest statistically speaking, that's where the most amount of deaths happen, right? So whenever there's a lift, there's a boom, they're working at heights, that's where I'm looking. So when I go to, I'm driving down the street and I see somebody on a lift with no harness, that's the kind of shit that I'm like, oh, any kind of draft, any kind of wind, if he drives it or moves it and there's any kind of bounce, he can, jump out of or fly off of or get popped out of the basket.
What's that called? Catapulted out. Mm-hmm. Catapulted, that's the word.
Yeah. So little things like that where it just sucks that I just see things and I'm like, and more in the construction industry because right now the oil and gas, it is highly regulated. So when I go to the construction industry and they're not as highly regulated and I'm like, what the fuck? Why aren't you guys?
People on site with not hard hats and like, what are you doing, dude? This is a fucking full-on job site and there's no people not wearing hard hats and.
Yeah. But I can also see that how safety can also impact a business and it can put restraints. So I've also had to learn to work with employers and supervisors and figure out, okay, tell me how you need to get this job done, how you've always done it, and how I can work with you guys so that the job gets done in a timely fashion without having, these chains that, either makes it longer, they have to invest more money for something that they know they can do in a safe manner. So.
Do you feel like you can help out with that?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Making things move smoother or?
Yeah. That's why safety is just the beginning. I feel like there's so many other industries that we can go into as long as I know how to keep us safe, compliant, able to fulfill these businesses and the requirements that either government contracts, federal, state contracts or require, and that they're possible to do without anybody dying. and without putting people's lives at risk in order to save a buck. Because it's possible.
Yeah. Is that just talking with their like leadership team and trying to get the safety, trying to win them over?
Yes. And, I have one company in particular that right now is just booming. But it started off me and owner literally yelling at each other in a safety meeting because he didn't think safety culture was a thing. Company culture was a thing. That you should go out and take them burritos just because.
Yeah.
That
take care of them.
Their fucking paycheck is their reward. Their fucking paycheck is their appreciation.
No.
But this is a dude who's made millions.
Exactly.
So how do you argue with that?
No, I know that, you know but like, that's the thing that people need to understand.
Not buying burritos. That's how you make those millions. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like what's happening with me is my boss is gonna be buying the company that we own, that we're working for right now, and we're gonna start our own company. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that he's always taught. He's always taking care of me. He's giving out bonuses. He's always stuck his neck out for everybody, and he knows that if it's not for us, then the company doesn't work. And I don't understand how like people get lost in that. You know what I mean?
There's more out there than you would be.
Oh yeah, and I know. It's just corporate now, and then you make a little bit, and they want you to make more the next month, and then the next month, and if you don't, then you're fired. And
yeah. And so, but after we started implementing that, like, okay, let's start choosing, the guys with the best JSA. And then let's do actual cash rewards.
Yeah.
And so he would take an owner's withdrawal. And out of his pocket, these guys are getting $50 instead of a gift card.
Yeah.
They're getting cash. Yeah. All of a sudden, we've created competing to do better. And they wanted it. So once he started to see that, he had less stress, less problems, and the exchange was that. He had to cough up some money.
That's nothing compared to what you get out of it. That's what people don't understand. The small amount that you spend is nothing. As an owner, the small amount you spend on your employees is
worth all the morale.
Yes, it's worth all of it.
But it's not just that. It's also talking to them with respect, not going out there. And in Spanish, we say pendejear when you just call everybody dumbasses.
Yeah.
You can't do that to grown-ass men who are literally making you money. Yeah. And so once I got him to change, like that fucking company is just killing it with their safety culture. And they're getting more job from it. Our turnaround rate went from like 30% down to 5%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so that makes
because other companies aren't doing that, right? That's a way for them to differentiate themselves from the competitors.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't understand. That little bit too, you spend that, and then if word gets around town, these guys are investing more into you. They'll take care of you, and then you get better employees, and then you could get rid of the employees that are not good, and you could just have the. It's technically a monopoly. You can, but all you have to do is just take care of people. At the end of the day, that's all it is.
What's GSA?
It's a job safety analysis. So it's like a diagram and steps of what they're gonna do, so that nobody gets hurt. So we're gonna
every step.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
So it's just a way to stay safe, like a pre-inspection, a pre-plan.
And there's a score too for every company. That every corporation, that they have a score, a safety score, and then like the big GCs, they can see that score, and they don't even have to even talk to you when you come and look at the job site, because like, oh, your score's not even up to par, then we don't even want to work with you.
How do they score you?
It's based on injuries, near misses
throughout the year.
Who scores it?
It started with the insurance. It's called the TRI, and the insurance gives a number, and compared on how many incidents, accidents, days away. Like, so if somebody gets hurt and they have to have them, take 4 days off, that affects me. I would rather have them come in and you're just literally going to help me, move paper around, file, sit there. Fucking sit there. But just that way it doesn't affect insurance. That insurance numbers, they compare it with how many hours are worked company-wide, and then you get what is the TRI score.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you don't even have, companies won't even look at you, even if it's not even close to what they want, they won't even.
Yeah. And more, that's why they come to me. They come in a panic. I get people because they have to, not because they want to. Right. Then they see that it makes sense. It just makes sense to clean up your fucking company, to create procedures, to create like organize it, and people work really well with structure, and they'll stay in a state of calm. They'll stay where they're respected. They'll stay where they're appreciated.
Right.
You know, but there is a generation out there that doesn't value that, and that goes back to the just knowing. If I know what generation that dude came from and how he built his company, I could tell you how that company is from its roots. Versus a younger CEO that built his company by prepping himself, like getting a coach. Owners that are connected to other entrepreneurs, they're just a different ballgame. They're just different.
Why is that?
Have you ever heard of the Peloton effect?
No, I haven't.
Okay, the bikers, why they like bike together, because the force of the wind, the top one breaks it, and they're all going, so it's actually easier for them to travel at high speed.
It's like the flying bees, the ducks, the mighty ducks, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You move, you still can get to the same place, but you're just going to have a rougher ride versus traveling together, right? You travel with other entrepreneurs, and you guys are talking about this same thing. You know, I'm putting you on game. You're putting me on game on things you've already failed at, trial and error. And, you know, and that's how you learn versus wanting to do everything on your own.
Yeah.
But there was a time that competition was competition. I'm not going to tell you about my problems in my company and just let it keep molding up. Cool.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay me high dollar because your company shit when you could have just done it, you know, the easier way in my route.
Yeah.
Less money, less time, but less ego. And some people can't give that up. So
is there a difference that you'll not, I guess, a different price point for companies?
Emergencies? Fuck yeah. And I tell them. I'm pretty honest. And I tell them, look, this is my plan for your company. This is like my, what I want to go in and fix because I can see the big problems. We're going to attack the big problems first. If you don't want to do the leadership, because that's what I get fought on. And once again, I just call it leadership. I'm not talking about emotional intelligence. I'm not talking about appreciation at the workplace. I have to rephrase it. And if they still don't want that, no, I just want you to fix my safety stuff.
Well, you can't fix it. You can't fix the safety stuff without.
I can put Band-Aids.
Yeah, but you can't fix
because
it.
The moment that I leave, you're gonna go back to your same habits. Your employees are gonna go back to the same habits, and we're still gonna end up in the same place. And I don't want to put my name on that.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, I'm representing you in front of corporate people. I don't want my name for somebody who doesn't want to do the change.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so, I know I have competitors that are great. Go to my competitors. I'd rather not take that on, especially because I want to build a brand and a good one.
So you're talking about like reframing emotional intelligence. Is there like other words that come to mind?
Like I said, it was reading body language and conflict resolution. Yeah. Like I'll put that under, but it's really I'm teaching you guys emotional intelligence. You know, read the room.
And conflict resolution sounds a lot better than.
You know, it
emotional
sounds
intelligence.
Because that's
yeah.
They don't do well with those words.
Right. Is anything else come to mind? Like
that I have to rephrase?
Yeah.
When we talk about stress with supervisor levels, any breathing techniques, I have like a whole statistics and actual facts on breathing. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it comes from like Jocko Wilkins that he talks about, you know, all these military SEALs, Navy SEALs, and how they have to get their breath under control so they can sleep and go right into REM, and then boom, wake up in the middle of
So they get like 20 minutes of REM, and then they're just back in.
And so they train themselves to relax, boom, 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 and then be back up. Yeah. And so supervisors in the trades, they're not like, what the fuck is this shit? You're gonna teach us to breathe, and things like that, so that I have to reframe.
Yeah.
You guys are in a very stressful position. Always supervisor position is the biggest hazards are stress. They can't sleep because of the amount of shit that they have going on from people at the bottom of them nagging, and then boss doesn't let them do, or they have to fulfill what boss wants. And they're that middle.
How's your stress, Chris?
Oh, I'm pretty good. You know, my boss is pretty easy on me, so.
There you go.
My guys are sometimes dumb, but you know what I mean, just got to deal with it every day.
Mm-hmm.
I usually just wake up, and then once we get there, then that's when the stress starts to the job site.
That you could
On the
divide
way
it.
there, we're listening to music, having a good time. I'm just trying to get my mind in the game, you know what I mean? And then once we get there, then that's when the stress starts. But
Yeah.
other than that, I try not to bring it home. It's hard not to bring it home with me, but I bring it home with me sometimes. But most of the days, it's like, and I've been living this way, like, it's just put in God's hands lately, you know what I mean? There's nothing I can really control.
I wish we could sell Nalleli to the job site with you.
Oh,
just so she can just have all the fuck ups.
I'm pretty safe, but I'm a character and I fuck around a lot with my guys. So we have a good time though. That's the main thing is just having a good time. You gotta have a good time at work. If you're not, then you're not gonna. Everyone's gonna be miserable coming to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do have to say that I've had a lot of fun with people in the trades.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's just so much, like, just a different sense of humor versus when I've worked in an office setting. They are a little bit more corporate in that HR, like, you can't say, and these guys be saying some things that I'm like, okay, I'm going to walk away because I'm going to laugh, but I can't because I gotta go. And so I appreciate that.
No, that's what I'm saying. You got to have fun at work, too, and that's the camaraderie I've had. I've been working the blue collar life my whole life, and you gotta have that joking around and giving the new guy the hard time a little bit, you know what I mean? But also too, you know what I mean? Safety is the number one thing, and making sure everyone goes home safe the way they came home, or even I like to say even better, you know what I mean? Hopefully the mood's better after you come to work, you know what I mean? You go home and it's like, oh, we had a really good day and everything else too, but
although I have to say, like, when you get along with your coworkers and you're horsing around and it's fun, it's a relaxed setting, it's a safer setting than one that's tense.
High stress, yeah.
So that's also another thing I've had to learn as a safety professional. Like guys, yes, I'm gonna come and nitpick some things, but I come in, sometimes I'm just talking. That way nobody gets nervous because then I become the hazard.
Right.
Because everybody's all.
As soon as they see you, they're on edge.
Yeah. And so
have you felt that before? Like you
at the beginning,
get in there and you can feel they get tense. They're worried about what you're gonna say.
Yeah. One time, but because of me, somebody got fired. But it was a safety issue. Like this person was like racing with a crew truck, kind of thing. And there we got footage. So there was one of those things like I can't have you here because then now if I let you stay, then this is what we're setting. Like this is the example.
That's the standard.
Was it good footage though? Like.
TikTok Live?
I mean, literally, like...
Did he win?
Did he win?
Did he win? I don't know if he was racing. They just videotaped him going on 85 and...
Yeah.
In a short video. So, I mean, his crew truck, the number of the unit, number was on... Like, really, homie? But...
So after that, did you feel like they were more tense around you because they thought...
Like, oh, she's going to... that I can come and fire people. And that's not really it. And even as a third party, and I've always made that very clear.
And then you're just like, your hands are tied. Like, you can't do it.
Yeah.
You had to do what you had to do.
Yeah. And so...
they're not making it easy for you. You know what I mean? Like, come on, guys.
Have you ever wanted to...
Put a magnet over the door.
Or thought that someone should be fired and management
there?
Oh, no?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is that like a common thing?
It is. It is. People have favorites, and people have.
What's that one? Oh, what's that show? Sorry, my ADHD again.
It's okay.
What was that show? Billy Bob Thornton.
Landman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn.
And that's like they say he's like the most dangerous guy, but he's the best guy for the job.
Yeah.
Have you had that?
No.
Or you don't believe that?
No, I think it's Hollywood. It's a little.
Yeah, it's exaggerated.
Yeah. I don't think that would be dope to have a life like that, but I don't have a life like that. Thank God, actually. No, thank God.
But I'm saying like to where like you could see like it's the things he's doing unsafe, but he's getting the job done. But they can't fire him because he gets things done.
Yes.
Have you had that
before?
Do
you understand the pushback?
Yes. On some of them I do. Some others I feel like there's a personal connection. Like they feel bad for him. Yeah. And I understand it. So I do understand feeling bad for someone on a human level. Like, dude, he's been working. I know he's got kids. He needs this job. But he's putting the company at risk.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be a CEO or in a management position, you need to understand that the boat is more important than the one sailor.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have to, and that's what you're being paid to do, is make those tough calls. Now, I don't agree, and it's happened multiple times where this is my best welder.
Dang.
And they don't, because he produces top notch. But for example, in one case, he tested positive, and it was obvious, like he wasn't hiding it.
Yeah.
Right.
And so me and the supervisor went back and forth, but ultimately it's on the owner.
It's on the owner, yeah.
And I'm like, you're paying me to keep you safe. Now, if then that's on you. Right. And I also have to walk away knowing that it's out of my control.
Yeah.
It's not my company.
Yep.
And I did my job, and that's it. And that was hard for a while. Yeah. Because I like justice.
Yeah.
Let's all stick to the rules, including myself.
Right.
But once again, I'm like, this is not my company. It's not my company. It's not,
Do you feel like they're putting you at risk?
Sometimes. And if it's too much risk, and I think that's just kind of why I got the clients I did, and I feel like why they trust me, because I have also helped them.
Right.
I will also, we're in a bind. I know what the paperwork needs to look like.
Yeah.
And let's worry about putting it into place later.
Yeah.
Right now, let me just fucking get you through this audit.
Yeah.
Let me get you through this fire, and then we're gonna
go figure it out afterwards.
We'll figure it out. Is it ethical? No. Like, it is what it is. I should have them do it first, but then we lose the work, and we've got 100 people out of a job.
Right.
Okay. So because I make that, I've made those exchanges. I'm also very stern. Is you're putting me at risk. I'm holding you accountable to making it happen. And once again, all my clients, like, eventually they come to respect me because they see that I'm genuinely trying to keep you guys safe.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it. I'm just trying to keep us working. And once they put it into place and I'm happy, I'm good, like, you could just feel like the weight come off of everybody, and we're good. So yeah, I've had to do some stuff as well. Yeah, it's just part of the
But that's the same thing,
game.
trying to protect the boat instead of just the one person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a tough call,
Yeah.
But I have also fired clients where you've become such a hazard to me that we cannot
Right.
Get together anymore.
Is that a hard conversation, or do they understand? For the
It
most part?
is. Thank God that they have understood. The two that I have in mind, they've both understood. They just didn't want what I was offering. They wanted Band-Aids. And historically speaking, sometimes safety meetings were like just a bunch of bullshitting. I have had people tell me, we never learned, for example, what H2S was.
What? That's like the most dangerous thing in the world.
Even though they had been in business for about 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
In the oil and gas industry. And they didn't know what a deadly gas in our one industry, what separates us from any other industry, is this specific gas that could kill us instantly. And I'm like, so I know you guys have had safety meetings. They're like, we never actually talked about anything safe. We would talk about what we did this weekend. He would bullshit. He would tell us about tool safety, and then he would leave. So that just tells me he's keeping the company compliant, but not caring for the guys.
Yeah.
Right.
And so once I came in, owners saw the way I ran things, and I'm like, if that's what you want, go back.
Yeah.
Then we can cut ties here.
Yeah.
And then you get a change. And then they start seeing, like, the guys are actually making it a priority, and there's a buy-in, and they're on board. So.
Now, I'm sure there's a level to when someone sees how much you care, right, in presenting to them.
Yeah.
That there's a level of buy-in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's because if I see someone presenting and they actually care and they're passionate about what they're doing, you pay attention a little bit more.
Yeah.
Or you listen.
Yeah. Definitely.
How do you feel, Shakker?
I think you just gotta make it relatable. You know what I mean? Just shell shock. You gotta shell shock some guys. Like, even talk to somebody like, you have kids and a wife. What happens if you don't go home to them because you don't know your procedure if your H2S goes off? You know what I mean? How easy your life could be changed that easy. You know what I mean? Just going upwind instead of just running away. You know what I mean?
Have a PowerPoint of their tombstone. Pull that up.
Like she said, the obituary. I was
the
like,
obituary.
oh, God.
I'm sure that gets people.
Dude, that's intense. That's intense.
Yeah.
That's eye-opening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it really that's the thing too with like blue collar guys, because they just kind of it's the same thing they do every day, so they're not gonna think about. They just think that's what they do. You know what I mean? Their job's dangerous and that's what they're gonna do. But when you shock them, like, if I really do die out here, then what do I like want to say? And then like, oh God, what can I actually do to make this a longer process than just happening tomorrow? You know what I mean?
Yeah, videos work. I also found humor works.
Oh yeah.
Like, when I am disciplining, now I use humor. So, for example, I always have a supervisor meeting before I have a safety meeting. So I get together with supervisors. This is what I see on the admin side. These are some of the reports that are coming in. What do you guys see out on the field? What's a problem we need to attack next month?
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, well, we keep seeing, for example, the guys doing the JSAs, the job steps, like just one guy doing it inside the truck. No one's actually going around to the location to see what are the dangers. What are we actually doing? Are we, And so, for example, that they're racing on the road, they're leaving a bunch of trash left behind and working in a messy, whatever. What I do then at the safety meeting, then I'll go over like, all right, these are our opportunities, and then these were our strengths of the month. Here, I'll always start with opportunities, and I'll try to use humor with, like, we all know that one guy, for example, that, how do you check a truck if you're sitting inside of it? If you're all warm and you're, whatever, and I'll try to do some jokes so that it makes it relatable and it calms everybody down. And like, oh yeah, we be fucking up. Yeah, we do that dumb shit. And versus them just feeling nagged at.
Yeah.
But that's also been learned over time.
Yeah.
That I love my brother, but he be telling me some shit that, like, you fucking nag. The way you sound, like, it's like, you make me want to, like, just fucking quit. Like, so, as much as it hurts, you know what? I was like, yeah, maybe I do nag.
One thing that our old safety did was video JSAs, and I felt like they're really, because you literally had to have a video and everybody there. You don't have to record everybody, we record everyone's feet, so it makes it more not just pencil whipped. You know what I mean? You have to talk and, all right, this is what today is. We've already went through the job site. We're gonna have this, and this. If anybody else has anything else here, the video JSAs. It's a game changer. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. It's a really good game changer. And it's easy. You don't have to go through and check this. You go down and talk about what's actually happening, and then you just listen, you know what I mean? So I don't know how that would be for insurance wise, you know what I mean, for coverage, because you're not checking boxes, but the video JSA has been the easiest and the most like when you get people together, like not buy-in, but like everyone's contributing, you know what I mean? And then at the end, like, anybody else have anything else, and they add in, and it's just people just talking. It's easier that way, you know what I mean?
That makes
sense. Instead of like you said, one guy in the truck just checking boxes off and then signing everyone's name, and everyone's
true.
You know,
better
what I mean?
for insurance. You hear that, get that visual,
and then you get the visual. Like, you don't have to record video of people. You just got to record boots. You know what I mean? And then you just check in. Oh, I'm this, and this with this, and this, and it's easy. It's a video, and the video, I think it's the most easiest thing because you have to record it.
Yeah.
And then it's really not that hard just to press record and then talk about what you guys are gonna do.
I might have them do that. That's
Video JSA is for the company I used to work for. Yeah, that was the most. It felt like the people were more engaged. That's the word. Engaged in the JSA.
Yeah.
Instead of just having, you don't know. Like, unless you're there, you don't know if the one guy's just filling it out or if everyone's actually sitting there and talking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the video JSA, you have actual proof.
Yeah, that's true.
You can always go back and check the boxes.
Exactly. Oh, you don't have to check the boxes. You just look at the video and.
I'm saying if you have to, though, go back check the boxes if they want you to.
Yeah. Well, they have to have a written form, but there's a way that they can put videos in there, so why not?
Yeah.
So I like that idea. I'm going to take that. Yeah. Yeah, so this is what I mean about that Peloton effect.
Yeah.
Is that there's just certain things that with people that are going your same direction, you just learn. You know, so.
And that's the way of the future, too, is this. They have push to talk, you have everything. You have AI, you can just, you know what I mean? Like,
it's the hive mind.
And even you can do the AI, and then after the JSA, you can see that you go through AI and see all the things that they check through. Like the checkbox that you would have, you can see that they've gone through, and then you can work at this. That's all you got to do. It's I think it's easier with the video JSA.
Well, I have several guys who have figured out AI to write their JSAs.
Oh yeah,
and
see?
They'll do the voice. Voice to talk.
That's what I'm saying. The video JSA it eliminates all that because you have to just record it.
One of them's even trained or created his own ChatGPT bot, where he's trained him every day what they do. And to write the JSAs, he'll correct
this is pencil whipped.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He literally copies, and I wasn't even mad at him. When I was like, you know what? As long as it gets done and it gets done in a quality fashion, those are your hazards. That's what you're doing. Those are your mitigations. Boom. There you go.
And I think it's different too for like guys like in construction too that do the same thing, like put up drywall, like the same thing every day. Like mine, it's a little bit different every day, and like cranes, it's like kind of a little bit different, but. You know, that's the thing that's too. There's the repetitiveness.
Yeah.
Of just doing it like the same thing over and over again every day, and then you get complacent. And that's how accidents happen.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but.
If I make an accent, someone just looks stupid at a meeting. You know, the numbers just don't tie. They're like, wait, how the fuck? Those numbers don't go together. How does it make 100?
Yeah.
Or someone gets fired because
of Calvin?
No, no one gets fired.
Calvin's ChatGPT fucked up, you know what
I mean? Yeah. No, there's ways to do it, and you know, all of the companies I've worked with, I've been able to transform them onto all digital platforms.
Yeah.
So all of our stuff, permits, everything's on an iPad, and so there's ways to do it, and they're getting smarter. They're getting smarter. Like their diagrams, they literally take a satellite screenshot, so they don't have to draw in any of the location. They just put where they're actually working.
Oh yeah, and then you just put we're working here. See, that's the things that make it easier. Yeah. And when you make it easier, then that's when I feel like you get better JSAs and you get guys engaged because they're like, oh, we're just right here instead of having like, okay, now I have to draw this all out exactly what we're
Frustrations,
doing.
Right? Yeah. Frustration.
Yeah. Then it also, like for example, one of those several of them, the company owners like, oh shit, my company, we're going digital. We got iPads out in the field instead of books.
Yeah.
Like it adds a little bit of sense of like we're progressing.
Well, it looks professional when you show up. When you show up and you're doing a JSA, and then the customers they're like, would you like to be a part of this JSA? And then it looks really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so then that also helps with that with the owners and like, all right, Nalleli, what else do we do? Versus that fight.
Yeah.
And I don't, you know, I don't negotiate. I just don't. Like
if you don't want to work with me,
if you don't want to work with me, there's other of my, and I'll give you their contact number. Like I'll give you their contact number that you won't have any issues. They'll do what you want. I'm trying to build something different, and we just don't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
So that's okay. You know.
Yeah. What safety incidents have you had at working at home, Calvin? What do you think?
What do you mean safety?
Like safety incidents, like what do you...
Putting up the fucking Christmas lights? Fuck, you gotta talk about falling from heights?
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
You tied off?
I hate that shit.
Were you tied off?
I need to be on the fucking... I don't know what roofers use, but I fucking need some of that shit.
Mm-hmm. Roofers are the worst.
3 points of contact.
I know. Trust me, I'm scooting on my butt the whole time.
The whole time, this is funny. Calvin along his roof.
My first Christmas there, I didn't have a ladder. So I just pulled up the car close to the garage and
just jumped.
Just climbed up. My son's like, "What are you doing, Dad?" I'm like, "I'm putting the Christmas lights up. What do you think I'm doing?" My cousin got on my roof to get something. My son threw a ball up there, and he goes up, and he's like trying to get his foot to the trash can. And I'm like, "You're like a foot away." And when I say you're a foot away, he goes down and just boom, just crashes off. I thought he was gonna file on my homeowner's insurance. I was nervous. I was like, "You're fine.
You're good.
Get up. You're fine.
Get up."
Sign this paper before you leave.
I got a video. I'm like, you're okay, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's fucked up for a minute.
No, but like even here at home, like I do welding and stuff on the side, and it's hard to be safe here at home too. But like I was like, if I use a grinder right now and I squint my eyes and get some of my eye, and it's not even worth just putting on the safety glasses that I have all around here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like if something happens,
stuff.
Oh yeah.
I always get my glasses on. I'm always done up. Have my gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if we can pivot back towards women empowerment.
Okay.
I don't think we finished.
I know, we just
talking
went
about
off.
that very much.
Okay.
Chris.
It's not my ADHD. I'm sorry. Now look at us. Where we're at now. You know what I mean? ADHD. We're
Just saying.
No, the women empowerment. Oh, I love that, and it's something that before I was trying to separate and do. So besides safety, I also I'm notorious for starting events and putting together events for women to heal, and because for me therapy has been enormous. I even attended AA, even though drinking is not my issue, but it's so fucking interesting. And those, you want to get good stories, fuck. AA people.
I don't know if AA people want to get on a podcast.
You'd be surprised.
People love to tell their story.
Yeah.
Let's go. You know what I mean? Get them on here. We'll give you a business card.
But
if people want to tell their stories, you know what I mean? We don't have to drink.
Yeah.
We'll be chugging water.
It's just, I think that I've gone through such a healing journey that just has allowed me to, I want others to also be able to work on our shit, but then work towards a bigger, better future. And so that's how I always thought, okay, I'll do all my girl, women empowerment shit on the side. But now I'm joining it. Like, no, it can be, the same. I could do safety, I could do business, and also get more women into business, get more women into entrepreneurship in the trades. I'm getting ready to launch some networking groups for women in the trades. We need to just be gathering, once again, that Peloton effect. Just get together and talk, because there's certain topics like this that we're talking about, and it sometimes sucks to walk in and everybody's all silent looking at you like creeps and shit. It happens. But we're still going to show up the next day. Right. And if you talk to those individuals, they're all really good men, but sometimes they just be acting like creeps, especially if they start talking together and jokes come about.
If we could
they're whispering.
If we could figure out like one thing that we could just like make it to where it's like, figure out something. I don't know how to, you know what I mean? Like make them to where it's like a calling call or something. You know what I mean? Like, you're a creep. Get away from me. You know what I mean? Something. Send them a notification. Stop being a creep. You know what I mean? There's weird dudes. There's some weird dudes out there. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sure she knows.
Yeah, there is. But it's also such a fun industry. Like, it really is. Like I said, I mean, I think the male humor is just different. And I genuinely enjoy those types of jokes. I genuinely enjoy a little darker humor. So I have fun. I have fun. And I struggle less working with men where I can speak my mind and be more direct, versus when I have to be like really nice and, very fake.
Yeah.
But some people, that's how they function. And so I'll fuck up their world if I come in, with an aggressive energy, you can say. So I like to be myself. I feel like this is where I am myself. And I'm always trying to get women to get uncomfortable. Like, fuck it, it'll be uncomfortable like a couple months, and then you'll be cool with everybody on site.
Yeah.
And respectable. There's so many, like, everybody's so respectable, and they respect women in this field. They do. So, yeah, I do all kinds of shit. I'm always doing all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah,
so.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
How do you have the energy?
That's a great question.
How much coffee do you drink a day?
Actually, I don't.
What I do 75 hard on. So.
Yeah. No, but even if I do, it'll be black coffee. I do a lot of lion's mane. Lion's mane's really good and I can tell a difference when I'm on it. Sea moss in the morning, so energy levels are always like on peak. I'm really big about my sleep, so I like to be in bed by 9 o'clock, 10. If like tonight, I know tomorrow morning I'm not gonna be up early, and because I've noticed a huge difference that I can do more in less time, and that's the goal. Is that I want to be able to do more things that are impactful without it.
Because you get your full night's sleep.
Mhm. I used to be able to run on 2-3 hours.
Yeah, me too. That's I still do it like 5 hours, stay up till midnight.
Mm-hmm. I'll get things. I'm just not productive, and yeah. So, but yeah, I'm doing a lot, and my son just is about to graduate. He's 17.
Oh,
he's gonna turn 18 here in June. So I also feel like I'm at a different part of my life where.
Is that your only kid?
It's my only kid. That, like, all right, fucking put your money where your mouth is. Like, go.
Yeah, and this is your time just to dig down
and work and do and build the life I want, and that is bringing women into these fields. It really is. Bringing women not only into the fields, that's just one, but also I love talking about, let's go to the deep shit. Like, I tried it. This is why I say it. The whole positive movement and manifestation and fucking saying it to the universe.
Yeah.
And it works to an extent, but your shit that's deep down inside will come out. You can't tame it. The only way is to go fucking in, face the beast, and figure out what's happening. Why your feelings are hurt. Is it your ego? Is it shit that happened to you when you were small and somebody just triggered it? That has nothing to do with them. That has nothing to do with the situation, And I think that makes a huge difference, has made a huge difference in my life, is just going in deep. And so when I am being questioned by big personalities at work, and I'm fucking pissed, and I want to literally just...
You're boiling inside, you're just like...
Yeah, I got to figure out why.
Yeah.
All right, maybe I felt humiliated. Maybe I feel like they're not valuing me. That's a me thing.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with them. Maybe they just stated something I don't want to see. Versus me being defensive and not growing from it. And so I also like to talk about that. And I feel like entrepreneurship has tested me, has put me in so many situations where my ego is like fucking fighting for its life. And then I'm being constantly triggered.
Yeah.
Like, what better way to start healing shit with entrepreneurship, because it brings it up.
Right.
You're in a constant fight.
You find your weak points pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's why a lot of people quit. Because it's not easy. But if you can tame this inside, if you can tame yourself, like, it's just a challenge. That's it.
With like therapy, you were saying like, kind of like not a physical therapist, but it's like what kind of therapy?
No, like emotional. Yeah. So it actually started in 2019. I went through like this whole fucking midlife crisis, and it was triggered by a breakup that I thought I was gonna. This was it. I was gonna marry. So what it did is like, I'm not valuable. I couldn't even be wife material. Then I had a huge blow up with my son, and he was like 10, and the fear I saw in his eyes, because I verbally like went at him. It was something that triggered, and I was like, I don't want to be my dad. I grew up in a physically abusive home, verbally abusive home, and it was the first time your mic is blinking red.
Good catch.
Yeah. Do I keep going, or do we
keep going. Yeah, you're good.
That I just didn't want to repeat that. So what that led into is like me fucking crying in the middle of the night. I'm like, I need some fucking help. I don't know how to be a good parent. I didn't have an example of good parents. So that led into literally starting therapy online, because then COVID hit, and I had this phenomenal therapist who actually was like, all right, he was a family therapist. I thought he was going to tell me how to be a good parent.
Yeah.
Literally, he was like, if you're not good, your kids aren't going to be good. So we got to figure out what's happening that's making you. And he just went in deep and remembering stories, remembering things I didn't remember. So I relived a lot of things that in my mind, in order to protect myself, like that didn't happen. That didn't happen. And so it was like a couple years of, and that's what I truly believe therapy is. If it's not fucking you up, you're not doing the work. Therapy is not to make you feel better. It's like going to the gym.
It's making you face your...
You gotta face that shit. And it'll bring back memories you don't want to relive. PTSD might be in there. But then what ends up happening is you heal it. Because then now, 4 years later, I can talk about certain things without crying, without shaking, and be okay to face my dad and see my dad and be like, dad, like, even though he fucked up and he had, like, I can be in a room full of powerful men who get all aggressive and it doesn't bother me. It just, boom. I just get more like, cool. Like,
instead
let's
of
go.
being, like, scared or something like that,
He trained me. Honestly, like, there was some good in that bad experience. It made me tough. It did, even though there's a good and a bad, but there was some good out of it. And if it wasn't after those 4 years of doing that fucking work, fuck, I don't know. I don't think I'd be here.
So you don't think you'd be able to
you would suggest therapy to a lot of people then, you think?
All the time. All the time. All my family knows this. Everybody, I'm like, that's because the reason you're fucked up, you haven't faced your shit. You better go to therapy. AA, I got criticized too because I'm not a big drinker. It's not my issue. But seeing or hearing people just to share their lives when they hit rock bottom. Rock bottom, they have nothing to hide. You see like the raw human. And they're able to fucking just lay that shit out there. And also their growth. And I love the program. I've learned to respect people and also like see more than the situation in front of me. It's not just an addiction. There's more there.
Look at all these bad people. I'm doing pretty good. I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding. We were talking about this last episode.
No, it's
you
actually
going there
not.
to feel good on a Tuesday or something?
Right.
Having a bad day?
No, you would think.
I didn't pick me up. Listen, I'm joking. I'm not joking. You know what I mean?
No,
I would never care about anybody's, you know what I mean, being lower than, you know what I mean? I want to bring them up, you know what I mean? That's not going to make me feel any better.
You'd be fucking surprised how many entrepreneurs and badasses are in those rooms.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because they've had a rock bottom and they've went in deep, that entrepreneurship is like, that's not problems. They've learned to face it. You would be so surprised who are in those rooms.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And so that it just gave me a different perspective of facing your shit constantly.
Right.
It's an evolution, you know. My son right now is triggering certain things I didn't know because he's at a certain age where you know what I mean. I kind of want to fight him sometimes.
Yeah,
I literally want to fight him, and I got to go back like, okay, you're the adult.
Right.
You went to therapy, bitch. You're the one who chose. You know, and then just see that this is part of his life. He also has to fuck up himself. For him to grow.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
He has to have.
That's the shitty part about being a parent, I think, too. You know what I mean? Kind of just gotta let him learn. He can only protect him so far.
Yeah. Well, they didn't get to pick their parents either.
Yeah.
You know. So whatever you went through with your parents is something that lingers to them. Whether you figured it out or you didn't figure it out, it's gonna affect them.
Boom. Yep. Yeah.
Which is the crazy part. You don't even realize something that fucked you up, and then you're doing it for years, and you're like, oh shit, this is bad. I can't be doing this. I don't want him to repeat this with his kids or whatever it might be.
Yeah. And so so I like to talk about that too. You
That's
know,
good.
and most of the entrepreneurship crews or people that I surround myself with, like, if we're not talking real, then I don't know, you know, how to have a conversation.
Right.
Because I can't do the too positive because it's not real.
Yeah.
Eventually, shit's going to hit the fan because that's life.
Exactly, yeah.
That's just life. Yeah. And it's not bad. It's just life, you know, and you just kind of got to go through the suck, through that whatever phase it is, and then there's always going to be growth or not. You could get stuck there.
Yeah.
You know, and people do. So, yeah.
Do you feel like not just being a woman but being Latina helps you in blue collar, or is there like a balance to that? Or just entrepreneurship in general?
So I'll answer blue collar first. I would have to say no. I feel like if I'm in a room with other safety professionals, because there is some other women safety professionals, I feel there's always a little bit of you're a little bit less because you don't know. And then especially because I didn't finish school. Mm-hmm. Everything I am self-trained. Plus, I gone and got certified, but on my own. I didn't come out with an HSC or a safety degree.
Right.
And a lot of them have. Everything I know, it's because the guys on the field have showed me. And so we're just not the same.
Right.
And so, but once I get showing my talents, and I have to remember, no, bitch. Like, they showed you, you're here representing a bunch of field people. And then I can speak both languages. Like, then I can revalidate that I'm not more than them, but I'm not less either.
Right.
And that's the part I have to remember. Like, no, you're in this room too. And so, but the Latina where it helps is on the field because I can relate.
Right.
I can relate. Certain time of the year, I'll take, for example, like January 9th or the 6th is Reyes Magos, right? So it's they cut the rosca. Mm-hmm. So because I'm Latina, I could go out and I'll give them conchas, champurrado, things that I know that are more, and it helps connect.
Yeah, yeah. So just bringing donuts.
Instead of bringing donuts. Yeah. So things like that, it has its power, and it's, sometimes where I do have to remind myself, no. Snap out of it, you're enough to be
Do you feel like that's your advantage, though? Is your knowledge comes from the actual people in the field as opposed to just a bunch of books?
Yes. I think it's a good combination of, don't get me wrong, I love reading. And I tell people it's good to read, and, but there's also, you have to do the practice. Reading is great, but that's like learning to wrestle from a book. Like, you gotta fucking,
you gotta get your hands dirty.
You gotta get your hands dirty. Yeah.
That's a good analogy, actually. That's a really good analogy.
Mm-hmm. And so that's the same thing in business. The Latina thing, I think more doors are opening for Latinas and Latinos, and we just got to take advantage. And sometimes being different, being the only fucking chocolate chip in the room, is a good thing.
Yeah.
You stand out.
Mm-hmm.
So use it in to our advantage.
Right.
Why not?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a little bit of both.
That's good, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you can. Seeing it too helps.
Yeah.
Being able to know what to expect when you're walking in those rooms.
Yeah. And just practice, same thing, like going back to the wrestling thing, like I'm always learning, but the more I do it, the more comfortable I feel in these rooms. And I think also, even in the bigger rooms I've been in, when I show vulnerability and like, hey, like I didn't know that, and genuine interest, people will fucking help you.
Yeah.
Especially other women.
It's because people don't take like, oh, I know it all, so you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Mm-hmm. People don't accept that at all.
No. And so I've also learned to do that. Like, yes, I have my knowledge, and I'm also going to validate myself, what I bring to the table. But fuck, I'm always like, so where did you learn that? Where did you go? And you show that interest and you actually do it, people will respond.
People are helpful, right?
Yeah.
Like, people want to help you.
Yeah.
Especially if you show some interest in their knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Or whatever their hobbies, like they'll just they'll give you everything on that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So there's so much support, and when there's not, in my mind, there's the support has outweighed the haters.
Yeah.
I have gotten more support than haters, but the haters exist, and that's just part of it.
Oh, yeah, they'll be like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Get the fuck out of here.
Yep. My videos as well. I'll get on there, like, I'll have comments saying, like, oh, she's sleeping with the boss. That's why she's crazy. Her daddy owns a company, and that's why she put her there. And I'm like, okay, what?
Are these on Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, Facebook, a bunch of haters.
Yeah.
TikTok's nice for the most part, except for Chris.
That's how you know you're doing good. You know you get the haters.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Do you feel like any, I guess, like putting yourself out there? Like, you're not worried about any of that stuff anymore? Like, Or is it still like you post a video and you're like, this might not connect or go well?
No, for the most part. Look, I try to respect everyone, and I think that because I speak in front of a bunch of people, I've gotten good about not saying like the word, the GA.
Right.
Yeah. Things like that I don't do, but no, I think this is also a challenge for me. I mean, I want to be able to share my story with nothing to hide.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, was I a shitty mother for a while? Fuck yes. And if you're talking about it, it's not going to hurt my feelings because I've talked about it.
Yeah.
I've confronted it. I've taken responsibility, and I took in, and I'm doing the changes today. So my past is my past.
Right.
And so when I'm posting, I hope that in 5 years I can look back and see like, oh, when Nalleli was barely trying to start a business, was all stressed out for all these little problems, and because now my problems are bigger.
Yeah.
Right.
That's that's what I want to share, not just for other people, but for me too.
Right.
No. So that in 5 years you grew, not just stayed the same or didn't.
Right.
So no. For the most part, I'm pretty okay with talking about it and the people in my life, and as you guys have hopefully seen, like I'll talk about I'll talk about it. It doesn't, there's nothing to hide.
Do you get any pushback from your family, or anybody feel like uncomfortable by things you post?
No.
That's good.
No, I think they look.
Or at least you just being out there, they're like.
Supportive? They're supportive because I've expressed what I'm trying to do, and I've expressed. I want to grow. It's not just a company. Like I want to grow a personal brand, and that's going to take me to bigger projects in the future. Do they make fun of me? Of course, because they're a fucking Mexican family that got to nitpick everything you do. God, they got a dog and make joke. I'm okay with it.
If you're part of a Mexican family, you gotta have thick skin because they dogging you all the time. No matter if you're not doing nothing or you're doing something, you're getting dogged on.
Yeah, they really do. They're always dogging about me and my fucking therapy, and like for my birthday, I don't know, I got an AA card for someone who doesn't even go to AA or who's not even that. They're like over there trying to build a staircase without having an upstairs. They're like, but that's Nalleli. And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Sometimes you gotta start with the stairs, and hopefully it's there when you get there,
Yeah. Or my brother's like, so, like he'll come over and like, oh, so how you been? And, so what fucking cult did you grow or join this month? You know what I mean? And little shit like that because they know I like to do different shit and get into different things. And no.
That's good.
You know what has happened, though, it's interesting. Not my close family, more of extended, because I wasn't a good teen. I hung out with all the marihuanos, and I got into some legal issues, and I was on house arrest for like 3-4 months. That's when I knew I couldn't be a fucking thug. Like, the thug life was not for me. They had me have to do UAs, and they're in Fort Lupton, across the street from Santiago's.
Yeah.
Bunch of winos, and keep in mind at this time I was like 14, so I was a teen, and they had me with the door open, having to pee in a cup, and I had to walk out, all bunch of winos everywhere, just staring at me. I'm not a thug. Nope, I wouldn't survive in jail. And so, a lot of my family was not necessarily wanting to be related to me because they did have degrees and they were going places with their lives. And so Nalleli, like nobody wrote me letters of recommendation for my courts, which I deserved. So I'm not fucking putting this on anybody. But then it's just interesting now.
You know who you are.
But now they want to be like, that's my niece, and this is my niece, and
that's cool.
So it's just
you live and you learn.
Yeah.
I guess the thing is that you gotta learn from it though. That's some people's problems they don't learn. They just keep falling into.
Don't want to learn. It's that therapy thing, right?
Yeah.
Something triggers something. You don't want to know why.
Or some people like their diagnosis. They like it. They're not going to give that up. And also that's learning to respect that. Like if somebody loves their diagnosis and they don't want to give up their diagnosis.
To me, everyone's at different stages in their life, right? Mm-hmm. Like someone might be a great mom, but they're bad at business, and then there may be somebody who's great at business and they're a shitty dad, or they're a shitty husband, and it's all just trying to balance those things out for yourself and figure out what works for you. Yeah. I think that's the hard part, right? Especially when you're trying to like stretch yourself a little bit, like do content and do entrepreneurship and still manage your family and stuff. Yeah. How do you manage all that? Do you just
so the way I've done it, and once again, I go back to finding a tribe that's doing what you're doing. Yeah. I've joined coaching groups of people who are way past my stage and multiple companies, and we did this exercise where you just put your values in this stage of life. Right now, my stage of life is my son, and it has been. I grow the business as my second, makes me enough money to feed and do all the things, because I want to be present. So going back to, I need to leave that shit outside because this time with him, I'm never going to get this back. Right. A fucking job will replace me. A fucking client will replace me. But this time, he's never going to be 17 again. And he literally is 3 months away from graduating. 5 months away from being 18. I'm never going to fucking get this. I'm going to be at home waiting for him when he comes from school. And that's just a priority.
That's a priority that you want every day, that you're going to be there.
Even if he doesn't even want to hang out with me. Half the time, I'm telling you, I want to fight him sometimes. I'm literally okay, I cut some meetings short so I could be here. I just want to be home when he's home. And then he's like, hi, Mom. I'm going to be upstairs because I got a call coming in on Snapchat. The fuck? I literally, you don't ever want to sit and talk to me or watch a movie. But that's okay. It's just being present.
How was that, having a 17-year-old?
Oh, yeah. That bad? It's definitely having me practice patience and genuinely getting out of my thug part of my brain where I want to literally, dude, you don't fucking know me, and then into a rational parent that's understands that psychologically he right now is picking friends over his family. Yeah. And he has to. Yeah. It's part of biology. Yeah. And that I can't rationalize with him. And so sometimes I just have to let it go. And then when he just, he's got me done, then that's when he'll hear me. I'm like, all right, I'm fucking sick of your shit. You need to sit down and You can't disrespect me. And yeah. And so when I do that, then I could kind of see him all right, I'm sorry. And he fucked up, and
Is there fun parts of him being older now?
Yes, there is. Our conversations are just, they're just so beautiful. I'm genuinely meeting somebody and seeing his political views and why, and then why he thinks, what can I think of? Just the way he rationalizes life. Yeah. It's just interesting to see.
How he sees life.
Yeah.
Him working his way through it, kind of processing it.
Yeah. And so, very beautiful moments. He's also a jokester. Sometimes he'll want to wrestle me, and he calls it simulation, so that I'm always ready for something. So he'll come up to me, and he's like, "Oh,
it's a good son. It's a good son."
And I'm like, "What?" But things like that, he knows he can literally beat me up, but he doesn't. Just a sweet kid. He was raised by a single mom, and he came out really good. I have to say. Is he normal? Does he have his fuck ups that I probably don't know about? Of course, because I know I did. But for the most part, he's a really, really, really good kid. So, yeah.
I got a 4 and 6 year old, and my 4-year-old daughter, she's already acting like she's 13. So I don't know what's that gonna be for. Teenage years. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah. Hopefully not. Sure. Hopefully she takes it easy on me.
Do you want to react to a video with us?
Sure.
And then we'll close it out.
Perfect.
You want me to find the Kill Tony video? You got it?
Oh, you want to do Kill Tony?
I got it. Yeah.
You got it? Okay.
Or do you got one?
I had a couple on TikTok.
Dang. Oh, it's nice back here. No wonder Mikey's always.
Why does it always turn yellow? Oh, you have that nighttime mode on.
Nighttime vision, bro. You see Google up there?
Oh, so that it's like not a blue screen?
Yeah, it's easier on my eyes.
Yeah.
Comes up late.
Those are the training things that the safety
comes up late.
That's my safety thing.
Do you do everything from here?
No.
No?
I do everything from home.
Yeah, he comes to my house and
just,
he just comes right to the backyard and just does it all in here.
Yep.
Hey, Chris. He just tells me, hey, what's up, Kevin?
Let me go back to... Sorry, it's been a minute since I was back here. All right. Nalleli, I don't know what Chris has here.
Oh, you're going to do mine?
Oh, that's what I was going
to do.
No,
do mine. They're good.
Chris always gets excited.
Hold on, let me put the sound on. Go up 2. Scroll up.
We won't keep you trapped in this shed much longer.
That's actually times flew by, so it's good.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was already past 9.
Scroll up.
9:30. Oh shit. Yeah.
Scroll up.
Oh my god.
I can start
you got some blue color stuff going on?
Yeah, right there. Start with that one.
That's a jump.
What are we watching, Chris?
Jump jack.
That was just one of them. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna do the Kill Tony because I can't. Because I'm not like reacting with you guys. I'm just like.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Have you watched Kill Tony?
No.
It's like a comedy podcast. It's like the biggest comedy podcast, and it's live. Skip. Thank you.
But this has been doing the best for us on YouTube.
Okay.
And I feel like we would be doing our subscribers a disservice if we didn't do this with you.
Okay.
So.
Our subscribers a disservice.
Is this a bucket pool? It looks like Shakker.
Yeah, sure. You gotta unmute it.
There's an ad, I think.
Stuff for just the daily grind. It can be hard to keep up. But here's the deal. When things get hectic, we don't have to go through it alone.
I'll mute it.
Dang, that's like... What are they doing? Like a public service announcement here?
I don't know. They never showed on PBS. There's another one right there. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's the New Year's episode. That's why...
Back. Go forward. Forward.
I think right here. Bucket pool.
No, keep on. Right there. Oh. Is that Uncle Lazer? Oh, yeah, let's do Uncle Lazer.
Does he only get a minute?
Yeah, it's Uncle Lazer. Yeah, it'd be good. He's crazy.
All right.
He came from the blue collar area.
It's all personality. Very controversial figure in the history of the show. People either love him or they just straight up dislike him. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the long-awaited return of Uncle Lazer.
Yeah, he's good. Oh, that's a sick shirt he's got on too. That thing is legit. I meant to give you one of those. I don't even know what we're getting into, so I'm just letting you know. I have no idea.
It's only a minute, so...
Okay. Had a woman from Tallahassee, Florida slide into my DM.
Oh my God.
Said, hey, shut the fuck up. Said, got a plane ticket with your name on it. You come down to Tallahassee, Florida, blow my back out and rearrange my gut.
Oh my God.
I'm
sorry, Nalleli.
I said,
The blue collar in the shed.
How you doing today? He has risen, you know?
He has.
Right? She said, but before I get you a plane ticket, I'm going to need to see a picture of that hog.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
Fun fact.
I told you.
Chris said Uncle Lazer. Blame it on Chris.
It's okay.
Fun fact, I ain't got no hog.
I got what they call field mouse dick. You ever been hit by a sewing machine needle? You know? Look, here's the thing about sending wiener pics. Don't do it, okay? All right? Listen, look, I love my wiener. I put it everywhere. Hot tub jets, electrical sockets. I once took a shop vac and sucked all the foreskin off.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
I haven't been to a water park since.
I like how this is making you guys react more than me.
Ain't gonna be able to get you that plane ticket no more. If I get you a Greyhound bus ticket, and I said, listen here, bitch. My mama raised me on that Reba McEntire, and I might have been born just a plain white trash, but fancy was my motherfucking name. You don't know goddamn Greyhound bus. You hear me, bitch?
Oh my god.
So a couple days later, we worked something out where if my mom would drop me off, her mom would bring me back, you know?
Uncle Lazer, everybody.
I can't wait to see how embarrassed me and Chris look.
Oh, yeah. I was just like, oh, God. I was Uncle Lazer. I was
like, oh, my God.
That animal around your neck.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
This here's Steven. He's a euthanized husky. He was my
Oh, my God.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, he was just going to throw the motherfucker out. And I said, well, hold on now, old son. We're resourceful people, you know, and so I like,
Wearing a husky around his neck.
I went to his front door and tried to give it to him as a gift, and he answered the door and he goes, why'd you unbury my dog? And I was like, so you're telling me you don't want it? Mine now, motherfucker. How about that?
I can't believe I fell right into your trap.
You did step right into it.
That's the second husky we've had on stage. Liz Splat was here earlier.
My husky just died. This is making me really sad.
Oh,
Shit. How's your New Year's, Tony?
We're having fun. What are you, conducting the fucking interview?
No, I just was simply asking a question.
I love that you said you wouldn't get on a Greyhound bus. I've been on the Greyhound bus in this country. It's just 57 U's. I was on a Greyhound bus from Cleveland to Pittsburgh. This is a fun wrestling story.
Yeah.
I sat next to a man who was on speed with schizophrenia, and he told me the truth about Chris Benoit.
Oh, my God.
Wait, what is the
He
truth?
knew a secret about Chris Benoit.
Yeah, let's hear it.
He was a good man. And the whole time I was like, okie dokie then. Yeah, he only killed his family to send them to God.
Oh my God, all
And
right.
he said, you can't judge a man for that. And I was like, I didn't know I'd be seeing you again up here on the stage so soon.
How's your New Year's going, Lazer? How's your holidays? What
Oh,
does a guy
sorry.
like
That
you
was
do?
bad. I didn't know that was coming.
Fucking major.
Yeah,
Lazer.
Chris Benoit.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, gosh.
I could see why they're popping.
Oh, yeah, Chris Benoit. Dude. That was a sad story.
Yeah, my buddy that moved down there, he got on that. He's on this show.
Really?
Yeah, I was on the
New Year's Eve
podcast.
one. Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, he did good too. He killed it both times he was on.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Whew. Do you want to do a thumbnail?
Sure.
Let's close out and then we'll do a thumbnail before.
Okay.
I,
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's the way we have a.
Yeah.
Close it out.
Close it out, Kel.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. We had a great time. I think we had a good combo. We'll have a lot of like fun clips and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much if you made it this far. And made it to the Kill Tony part. We appreciate it. Comment who looks more embarrassed, me or Chris.
This is gonna be like the
both of you.
Oh, I'm so red. I can tell. I'm so red. As soon as he starts talking. But yeah, is there anything you wanna
No,
say or
just
we didn't cover?
thank you guys for having me on, and I honestly respect your guys' grind, the way you're set up, and the fact that you guys stayed consistent, because that shows true heart.
It's hard.
That's awesome.
Very hard.
That's the
So,
hardest part.
fuck yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have a koozie for her?
Oh, yeah, I got hella koozies. Let me see, right here.
We got some merch.
A little
You
bit
said
of
you
merch.
don't drink, but you can put it on your.
Well, the whole time I'm holding this
Oh,
cold
sorry.
ass
I'm
fucking water.
sorry, I'm sorry, you know what I mean?
You get 2 for that.
There you go.
yeah.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
That would have been nice, but it's okay.
Also, too, I'll give you some stickers before you leave, and you hand them out to the guys, put them on the hard hats, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There you
Shout
go,
out to
there you
guys.
go,
There you go.
That's
That would
marketing
be
right
good.
there. But once again, Nalleli, thanks for coming on.
Thank
We
you.
had a great time.
Episode 89 in the
Yeah.
book.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.